overtime, you do not want to be giving the other team 30 yards in penalties on the winning scoring drive. That was pathetic. I think this DEI and football officiating is terrible.
Okay.
And,
all right. That's freaking ridiculous.
I'm really disappointed that the Bills lost. What are you going to do? I mean, that's
Listen, I got to tell you, when they didn't call Denver in the end zone, which would have ended the game, which would have ended the game.
Yeah.
When they didn't call that, I'm like, well, listen, I understand, because the refs. I appreciate the fact that the refs aren't changing the outcome of the game. I don't want to win on a penalty. We can win not on a penalty. And then what do? They completely change their style. I mean, that to me is the most egregious. We can argue over whether or not that was a catch. I understand I understand the rule now. It's unique. But the problem I have is all of the other times that New York has called this a catch and not an interception. But here it's an interception and not a catch, and they don't even review it. I'm struggling with that.
Yeah, I don't like the way the reviews are done, and I don't understand why the coaches aren't given the right to.
Well, okay, you asked why didn't he challenge? Why didn't
he throw the flag?
He couldn't.
According
he
to
couldn't.
the rules,
it's in overtime.
Only, right?
And it was in overtime, but they took a challenge earlier. And they lost the challenge, which meant they lost their right to challenge in overtime. The Bills could not challenge. So that's why he did have a timeout. That's why McDermott called timeout, just to say to the refs, aren't you going to review this? And they said no, and that was it. So, all right, Chuck, very much getting to the point where this just seems to be the way things go. The Bills really have to look at cleaning house, in my opinion.
Well, that's why they play the game. You know?
All right. Thank you, man.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. We'll bring in Ryan Schmelz, Congress week ahead, a preview.
You don't care what he thinks about Congress. You want to know whether he thinks that was a catch or not.
I want to talk football. Ryan, good morning. Ryan Schmelz from Fox News Radio.
Aren't all reviews in overtime, and aren't all turnovers already reviewed?
I would think. Yeah, I would think so. Yeah. They didn't waste a second there. There was no time at all. I could not believe it.
Yeah, that was a very that was weird. Yeah, to say the least. I think the Ravens, I want to say, had something similar happen, and then you had the situation last night where I mean, maybe something similar happened to Devontae Adams, but I mean, look, they got it right in that game because it was clear, like his knee was clearly down. He still had possession of the ball. Then it was taken out, like a second later.
I couldn't even believe knowing what happened in the newspapers that morning and what happened the night before. They had no problem calling that a catch last night.
Yeah. Because it was the right call.
Because it was the right call. And the other part that, Ryan, my complaint is that the refs were calling, they were letting them play. They weren't calling it. And then all of a sudden we go to overtime and 3 unbelievable calls. The flags were flying like they completely changed their rhythm of the game. I found that to be highly suspicious.
Yeah, and I mean, look, Ole Miss lost the game recently there was a pass interference that wasn't called, but it's like, I get it where, if it was a game that wasn't flag happy and they chose not to be flag happy there, unfortunately, it didn't go my way. But and of course, you wouldn't have been in this situation if you didn't call that, didn't get aggressive at the end of the half and have that weird turnover.
Terrible.
I mean, I think really and people are talking about McDermott's being on the hot seat for this. I mean, does the GM potentially get on the hot seat?
Brandon Beane here's why Brandon Beane has to go. And certainly he's done some really big things and brought in some. They've invested all of their money in a defense that gives up 30 points a game. How do you not replace? How do you not replace Diggs? How do you not replace Diggs with you've got the best throwing quarterback in the NFL?
Coleman, but he just didn't pan out.
Yeah. Everything they did not pan out. I mean,
the line's good, I would say, but
they're talking about the one that the Bills have to go for is the wide receiver from the Eagles.
Oh, A.J. Brown.
A.J. Brown. And not happy right now in Philadelphia. So.
Well, he's known to be a malcontent. He's one of these guys where, like, I hope we win, but I want 8 catches. Yeah. I hope we win, but at least if I get my 8 catches, I'll be happy.
Yes, well, that's most wide receivers.
Yeah.
Some of them are more vocal than others about it because that's how they can make their livelihood is by getting the ball. And anyone who doesn't tell you that is lying.
Yeah, but I don't want to hear that because whether it's $14 million or I hit my extra $1 million to make $15 million this year, or $20 million versus $22 million, I mean, I don't want to hear I can't feed my family on $20 million. I need the 22.
Well, here's what's going to happen though. If he goes to the Bills, he's getting the ball. You don't have to worry about that problem with the Eagles. Like he is going to get the ball if he plays for the Eagles.
Yeah.
Like especially with the Bills wide receiver core, Josh Allen will get him the ball. That is, especially
no doubt
if
about it.
Stays too.
And I can't even believe they're arguing over whether. First of all, I wish the Bills would have just kept pecking away at that point and not gone for the big play downfield. Just pick up. They were gaining 10 yards. Whether they're running the ball or he was throwing the ball to the outside, they were moving. They were moving the ball. Yep. You didn't need. But he catches the ball, comes down with it. The refs make the right call. And he's a hero. Bills win the game. So, but to say that it's that was Josh Allen's fault. I mean, Josh Allen did not have a good game, but he did have a spectacular game. All in the same. You just can't have those mistakes.
I haven't even gotten into it yet. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Ryan.
And I'm always somebody who's gonna. I blame the people at the top before I blame the players most of the time. Like, if football is the sport that is the most reliant on coaching of all the sports. So it always starts at the top with the GM and the head coach and of course ownership. And in this case, I think the problem with the Bills that in the situation they're in is that, and I don't want to sound like a homer for the Ravens, but the Ravens get a little more credibility to fire John Harbaugh because the Ravens had a Super Bowl winning coach before John Harbaugh.
Yeah.
And with the Bills, it's like, I mean, you remember what it was like before Sean McDermott and Brandon Beane got there, and it was
it's horrible.
So there's a fear of going back to that if in fact you strike out with the head coaching hire.
And what makes McDermott different than all the coaches who've been fired is McDermott won another playoff game, so that makes it even a little more. However, Brady, he's already interviewing to go somewhere else. Everybody's blaming Allen, and Allen is absolutely in the wrong. But how many times can you call this guy Superman and expect him to pull off some Superman play with under a minute to play, no timeouts? You take that safely into the halftime. That was a coaching decision that I blame the offensive coordinator on that to go. I mean,
and I think this is a thing too, is that, and I think this falls with Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen, which is, and this stat has been shared a lot amongst the Ravens community, which is, I don't think we've had a single takeaway or turnover throughout the time that Lamar Jackson has been a Raven in the playoffs. And, you look at a team like the Texans where C.J. Stroud threw like 3 interceptions the previous game, and they still were able to beat the Steelers. And, I think Josh Allen's been in similar situations where he's had to put up like 40 points just to be able to be competitive in some of these games. And it's like, these defenses for both of these players have just not shown up in the playoffs at times.
And nor is the offensive line.
Maybe they've held the team to a low amount of points, but it's like, where's the big play? Where's the takeaway? Where's the forced fumbles? Where's the sack fumble in a big moment? It just, you haven't seen that happen.
Yep. Just so disappointing. And, I mean, when do you, if you're going to make changes, when do you make changes?
This week.
It's this week, I would think. This is when you
two of the hottest candidates on the market have already been swooped up. John Harbaugh's with the Giants now. Stefanski's now going to the Falcons. So you got to start moving quickly.
Well, there's a lot of work to be done for Buffalo in the offseason. And, they're wasting Josh Allen. They're just wasting him year after year. This is just ridiculous. So, all right, interesting stuff. Well, listen, Manasseh got his wish. He has a new head coach.
I'm happy to have Harbaugh. I really am. I'm so happy. I'm telling you today, on my app here, I can't find it, but I am putting money down on the Giants make the playoffs next season. I will be watching, unless Jackson Dart or they go through these injuries again, I will be watching every single game. It's tough to watch. I'm telling you, for a decade now, I'm like, is there anything else on? Because I can't watch. It's like embarrassing. It's painful to watch. But I'm happy now. I'm really happy.
And let's think about this too. You've got the Patriots playing a beat up, playing in the Super Bowl again.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, and
that was always going to be the hard thing. I think somebody went viral for a video about that not too long ago. They like, could you just imagine if the Patriots make the playoffs like without Tom Brady?
Yeah,
with a new regime, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, oh well, when Brady left and when Belichick left, it was supposed to be the Bills' just thing to win, and they haven't done it yet. And it's like, oh gosh, here we go.
Listen, I had one friend text me during the game and said all they've been talking about today is how Josh Allen hasn't given up a turnover or an interception in so many games. And so I mean, it's amazing how he's turned things around. 0 interceptions, 0 turnovers, and look at what happened. He's like, total setup. Yeah. They won so much money, total setup. I don't buy that, but he certainly does. So, well, what are you going to do? By the way, I don't know if you know, Congress has a week ahead, blah, blah, blah.
We'll talk to you tomorrow, Ryan.
Okay.
Let us know if anything big happens, all right?
All right, Ryan. Thanks.
All right, we'll do. It's a holiday. Nothing's happening.
That's exactly. Everything's closed. Federal holiday. No mail. No federal offices. No state office. All that. All right, Ryan. Thanks. Have a great day.
All right. Have a good one. See you.
Ryan Schmelz, Fox News Radio. He knows, certainly knows the frustration. They felt it in Baltimore. They felt it in Kansas City. And now here we are feeling it in Buffalo.
I hate to criticize him because I know he's your coach, but I thought I was not impressed with McDermott's press conference.
I
standing up for Buffalo. Oh, please make the argument about the catch or not the catch. Not like he's got to announce that he's out there, and the reason he's upset is because he's standing up for Buffalo. Duh, you're the head coach.
Yeah,
no one thought you were going to be taking Denver's back on that one.
I think he looked weak.
I completely agree. I thought he looked so weak and phony.
Meanwhile, you look to New England, and I got to tell you, for the first time, you have Buffalo Bills fans looking on and saying, "I'm envious." No wonder they're making their way to the playoffs. That's the difference. And the word is Pagula is filed a lawsuit against the NFL regarding 3 calls that were made by one referee.
Are you serious?
No, I am. I'm serious. And where's that going?
Nowhere. That's embarrassing.
Your focus right now should be, who am I going to get rid of? Who am I going to get? That is exactly the only focus Buffalo should have right now.
Suing for better calls.
Yeah. And actually, this happened, I think, under Ralph Wilson back in the 70s. They questioned the calls of one referee, saying that they felt that he was compromised and felt that he should never ref another game again. They sued the NFL back then as well. Again, where do these go? Where does this go? Where does it go? Absolutely nowhere. Waste of time. Got a break. Manaski updates the news here on Monday morning. Martin Luther King Day. No mail, no banks, none of that. No school, et cetera, et cetera. Highways and byways this morning are pretty darn busy, though. Davey, you look dismayed. Can't go to the bank. Is that what you're saying? Okay. Yeah, all right. Well, the ATMs are open, just so you know. Here's Manaski.
The Save of the Day Foundation is dropping the puck on a raffle where you can win big. $75,000 cash or a 2026 Chevy Corvette. That's right. 1 ticket, 2 powerhouse prizes, and only 2,000 tickets will be sold. Tickets are just $100, and every entry supports the Save of the Day Foundation, helping our community win off the ice. The drawing is January 31st during the Utica Comets game, and you don't have to be in the building to score. Don't miss your shot. Cash or Corvette. Get in the game now at saveoftheday.org.
It all began in 1985 with a single goal, a commitment to brighten our community. And with your kindness, that light grew brighter. Because for 40 years, you've helped Food Bank of Central New York deliver healthy food and hope. but that need continues to grow. So this year, please consider giving a little extra and make sure the light we shine together never goes out.
Need a new bed? Don't wait for your tax return. Mattress Express has 1 year, no interest, no money down, and no payments for 90 days for qualified buyers. Stop into any store or apply online at mattressexpressny.com.
Welcome to the most wonderful time of the year, when millions of Americans open their credit card statements, scream in terror, and start looking for new ways to save money. If that's you, why not cut your wireless bill in half with a saver plan from Pure Talk? You'll get unlimited talk, text, and 3 gigs of high-speed data on a super-fast 5G network for just $20 a month. Ho, ho, ho. Just dial pound 250, say micro, and Pure Talk's U.S. customer service team will help you switch in minutes. Again, talk, text, and data for just $20 a month.
The new year brings new health goals and wealth goals. Protecting your identity is an important step. Your info is in endless places that could expose you to identity theft, leading to lost funds. LifeLock monitors millions of data points per second. If your identity is stolen, our restoration specialists will fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Resolve to make identity health and wealth part of your New Year's goals with LifeLock. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS. Visit lifelock.com. Terms apply.
Celebrating 100 years. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
We'll take a break from all of this. We have looks like there's been a winter storm warning issued for Herkimer County. I believe it's mainly to the north. And you can see the same thing for Oneida County, mainly to the north. Tug Hill, they're saying, could get 4 to 7 feet of snow.
Oh, my God.
It's they're saying this is going to be potentially spectacular.
I'm sorry. Yes, Herkimer County does. A winter storm warning in effect from 7 o'clock tonight until 7 a.m. on Wednesday.
It's all lake effect snow.
Oh, brother.
We may see a little of it. The only change we would have is if that lake effect snow were to come down a little bit to the south.
Nope, stay up.
And cross over the thruway. Most likely it will not. We're probably only looking at a couple of inches. But to the north, there's a lot of snow on the way. As Ray Stajic said, somebody's going to get it. On the line right now is Tanya J. Powers from Fox News Radio. Tanya, another huge Bills fan who has a story, but we're just going to talk Buffalo Bills today. Good morning, Tanya. Good morning. I'm kidding.
Good morning.
Yeah, I'm kidding. I see you as
thank goodness
someone who might sit down and watch a football game in the background because everybody else is, but you is not a big football fan. Am I misjudging you?
No, not really. I mean, okay, let's professional football is not really my bag. That college football is a different story.
Yeah,
but
I understand.
Yeah, I'm more inclined to watch a college football. And nothing against the pros. It's just that I don't really have an allegiance to a particular team right now.
Yeah, fair enough. All right, let's talk about today and what it means. MLK Day, Martin Luther King Day today.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is a federal holiday. The Postal Service, banks, stock markets will be closed today, by the way, in case you're wondering if the mail is going to run. Not today, tomorrow. Stuff like retail stores and most restaurants, grocery stores, those kinds of things will probably be open. Yeah. But again, not your postal delivery won't come.
You might even have a sale or two, very much like President's Day, yada, 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 all of that. I had thought that at one point the president, when, I don't know, maybe around earlier this year, the year that seemed to go on for a long time, I thought he had said, we have too many holidays. We're going to be getting rid of some of these holidays. And I thought Martin Luther King Day and Juneteenth Day were both on the chopping block. But I was looking at it. Certainly in New York we would celebrate it. But I'm looking. These are still federal holidays. Both of them are.
Yeah, they're federal holidays. This was signed into law in 1983. The third Monday. President Reagan is the one who signed that, designating the third Monday in January as Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Day. today, well, actually, the anniversary is actually tomorrow because it was the first one was held on January the 20th, 1986. But this is the 40th year.
Wow, it's been that long.
Yes, it has.
Yeah.
That may surprise a lot of folks.
I feel like I'm getting old, Tanya. This is not good.
Yeah, it's been 40 years. It's interestingly enough, not all of the states did not officially recognize it in their state laws until 2000.
Okay.
It took 15 years by civil rights activists to get the holiday approved by the federal government. 17 more for it to be recognized in all 50 states. The push to make Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday to honor it with a federal holiday started about 4 days after his assassination in 1968, and it took them until 1983 when the bill was signed to actually get that done.
So I find it now in New York, we're just it's kind of hard to understand why would this even be controversial. I feel like we were brought up that way. However, and I know this is no slight by any means. I know you are from the South. It is different in the South. Would you say?
Yes,
Yes.
I would agree with that.
Yeah.
I think that is not an unfactual statement.
Well, you notice I tiptoed through that. I didn't want to by any means offend you at all.
You did. No, it's no, it's fine. No, it is definitely one of those things that, and I wish I had a list. You know, when I was just talking about, it took until 2000 for all of the states.
Yeah.
You know, to recognize this in their state laws. I wish I had a list of the order of which states, it took until 2000. I don't know which ones it was actually. And I kind of want to go look that up now because, I've got a good idea, but I don't know. I could be surprised by that.
So no mail, no bank, no all of that, and schools are closed, et cetera, et cetera. It's MLK Day. And there you go. I really want to look up what the president was talking about back in the spring.
Well, was this, maybe you got it confused because he brought a holiday back, right? Because Christmas was gone until Trump. He brought it back,
point.
right? Isn't that what happened?
Yes. And by the way, Tiny, this is long overdue. Merry Christmas. So
I know, and all those people who were jailed for saying
yes,
this, I was good to see that y'all are out now enjoying the freedom.
It's nice. Yes.
I will say the other thing that you may be thinking about the national parks. They
You're right.
MLK Day and Juneteenth off as free national park entry days.
That I think you're right. Yeah.
That was just recently done. So the parks are still are open, but anybody who's going to a state park today and expecting there to be free admission, as there has been for quite some time, this is the first year that's not going to be the case. That and Juneteenth
and
so
Flag Day. I think Flag Day was added, if you remember, because it's also someone's birthday.
His birthday.
Yeah. All right, there we go. Thank you for the clarification, Tanya. Have a wonderful day as always. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, Tanya J. Powers from Fox News Radio.
What a good call by her. See, that's why we love Tanya.
It is.
Maybe something got conflated, and she kind of straightened us out.
She cleared it up. I got to tell you, it's not often that I agree with Big Honey, but I do think he just simply states Drake May, 2026 NFL MVP. I think there's a good chance that happens.
Yes, there probably is a good chance that happens. Boy.
And probably deservingly.
I've said this before. I like to know what factions, people on the outskirts, because they are influential, what they think and say. And there is a theory out there, and you might be surprised at the people who believe this. They can even trace the specific trip that he took. There's a theory out there. I do not believe this, but I'm telling you, it's out there. You can find it.
Rabbit hole time.
The rabbit hole is deep. Tom Brady went and made a donation, if you will, and Drake May is a clone of Tom Brady.
I have seen. It's not a monetary donation. No. Is that actually, in terms of years, even possible? In terms of age?
I believe so. They claim Right? It's 2026 now. So what is he? He's only 24. They'd be 2002.
Okay.
That would have been Brady's.
Well, that's ridiculous.
I know.
Yes.
It's absurd.
Yes.
I do not believe it. But, people believe stranger things than that.
They do, yeah. Yeah. So is it possible, although I got to say he didn't look like an MVP guy when he played Buffalo.
No, he didn't.
Second time.
No, and I'll tell you, C.J. Stroud 2 weeks in a row looked awful. Boy, he's got how many turnovers in 2 weeks? They legitimately asked him at the press conference after the game, did you consider taking yourself out? What reporter was assigned to that game?
I've seen
Did you consider taking yourself out of the game?
So many horrible questions out of the. I hate to say it, they're the ones that are targeted for this. Out of the female reporters, sideline reporters, some of these questions.
The guys don't want to work Sunday? What's the?
Yeah.
Can we get Chuck Lester back on the phone? What about the DEI hires in the sports newsroom? How about that? And Chuck, where did that come from?
That's ridiculous. I think that's Chuck's attempt at being a little funny today.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, that was a good joke if it was a joke.
All right. Nonetheless, all right. A couple other things that are going on. This weekend is the conference championship tailgate party at Waterfront Grill. A lot included in the items that'll be auctioned off. Giants tickets for next year, and who knows where New York is going to be next year. Could be a really good year. Manaski says they're going all the way to the Super Bowl.
I say playoffs.
Bills tickets in the new stadium. Buffalo Bills tickets. 5 tickets will be auctioned off for an upcoming game in 2026, possibly 2027, whichever game you choose.
Any chance among the changes the Bills make this year is a new team name, the Buffalo Bridesmaids?
It's terrible. Yeah, terrible. That happens 1 until 5 on Sunday at Waterfront Grill, and Herkimer will all be down there for that.
Come get a picture with Uncle Smitty. Are we putting him in a tux again? Because he looked good in a tux.
You look good, Davey.
No, you can get a picture with him, though.
Dolly Parton today celebrates her 80th birthday. Boy, she does not look 80, does she?
No, she doesn't.
Uh-huh. And as we mentioned before, the banks, the schools, stock market, your government offices all will be closed today for Martin Luther King Day. The extended weekend continues, but not for us. We're here as dedicated as we are.
My understanding is the European markets are taking a hit after some of Trump's comments over the weekend. I'd be interested to see how the American stock market did if it was open today. But all of his comments about Greenland and being offended or taking action.
The fact is that he's saying, listen, I'm going to put an additional 10% tariff on any country that is not agreeing with me that we take Greenland. Makes us a bit of a laughingstock, I have to say. Looks really stupid. Got a break. Hold tight.
Hurt in a car? Call William Mattar. 315-444-4444.
I was ordering food for the office from the same few places for too long.
For workplaces suffering with office food fatigue, every day's a struggle.
Before starting Easy Cater, I assumed having no good vegan options for Carl in finance was normal.
Easy Cater is designed to treat OFF with a huge variety of favorite restaurants, plus tools to help you meet dietary needs and stay on budget. Used daily, one platform lets you save time and shine. Ask your app store about Easy Cater or start an order at Easy Cater.
WIBX Utica Road, W295 Utica. From the WB Tain Insurance Studios, your news talk leader since 1925. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now the latest from Fox News.
New anti-ICE controversy in Minneapolis. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. A demonstration yesterday inside a church, now under federal civil rights investigation. Senior Justice Department Advisor Alina Habba just told Fox.
The FACE Act is a long-standing federal statute that prohibits force, threats, obstruction, any kind of interference with a religious place of worship, and it carries criminal penalties.
Fox's Matt Finn's in Minneapolis.
They started chanting for Renee Good, the woman who was shot and killed by ICE earlier this month.
Renee Good! Renee Good!
The protesters believe one of the pastors works for ICE. Now, the organizer told Don Lemon, who was embedded with the protesters, that it was a clandestine operation meant to disrupt a, quote, key location, demanding justice for good. One video appears to show a protester inside the church calling the churchgoers comfortable white people. 1,500 U.S. troops are on standby if President Trump invokes the Insurrection Act to deal with protesters who've clashed with federal officers. Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey, a Democrat, calls sending troops ridiculous. Some European countries have sent soldiers to Greenland opposing President Trump's push to take over the territory that's part of Denmark, prompting the president to threaten tariffs on those NATO allies. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent tells NBC's Meet the Press.
The president believes that enhanced security is not possible without Greenland being part of the U.S.
Iran is now admitting as many as 5,000 deaths in a crackdown on anti-regime protests that President Trump threatened to take action to stop.
The Ayatollah Khamenei addressed a crowd on Saturday that was chanting death to America and death to Israel as he called President Trump a criminal. The remarks, which were broadcast on state-controlled media, followed a slew of X posts where he falsely claimed the U.S. orchestrated the mass killing and chaos in Iran. In an interview with Politico, President Trump responded saying it's time to look for new leadership in Iran.
That's Fox's Trey Yingst. America's listening to Fox News.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. You know, the big wireless companies say they have discounts for people over 55, but unless you're willing to sit on hold and ask, you're probably paying more than you should. At Consumer Cellular, there's nothing to hunt down. We're built for people 50 plus with plans starting at just $20. And our 100% US-based customer service actually answers the phone. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com today and get your second month free for a limited time.
Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
The Tunnel to Towers Foundation honors America's heroes and their families, heroes like Scott Abrams. Now, for more than 3 decades, Scott served his community and country while he was on his NYPD motorcycle escorting a funeral procession. Scott was hit by a bus, leaving him partially paralyzed. Tunnel to Towers was able to honor Scott with a mortgage-free smart home. Please join us supporting the Tunnel to Towers Foundation. If you can donate $11 a month, go to their website, the letter T, the number 2, the letter T.org.
At least 39 people are dead in Spain after a high-speed train derailed and hit another passenger train head-on. Authorities still looking for more possible victims. It's Martin Luther King Jr. Day here in the U.S., a federal holiday dating back 40 years now to honor the civil rights leader assassinated back in 1968. Federal offices, schools, and post offices closed, and there's no stock market trading as the business world focuses on Switzerland.
The World Economic Forum says 400 political leaders are participating in Davos this year, including more than 60 heads of state, along with 6 of the G7 leaders, more than 800 CEOs and chairs, and a variety of tech leaders, including in AI. The theme is spirit of dialogue, and the World Economic Forum statement says, amid the most complex geopolitical backdrop in decades, marked by rising fragmentation and rapid technological changes, the need for an impartial platform for discussion is urgent. President Trump is attending. He's expected to speak Wednesday. Officials from Meta, Anthropic, OpenAI, NVIDIA, Microsoft, and Amazon are there, as well as the CEOs of a number of U.S. financial institutions. Jessica Rosenthal, Fox News.
Well, the president isn't there yet. He's still in Florida. Tonight he'll go to the national championship college football game. Miami versus top-ranked undefeated Indiana. In the NFL,
some classic NFL playoff weather Sunday set the stage for next weekend's conference championships. In New England, the Patriots intercepted C.J. Stroud 4 times and turned over the Texans 5 times in the snow in a 28-16 win. They'll head to Denver next week to take on the Broncos, who will be without starting quarterback Bo Nix after he fractured his ankle in Saturday's win over the Bills. Former Patriot Jarrett Stidham will start. In the NFC, the Rams overcame single-digit wind chill temperatures and a wild Caleb Williams game-tying touchdown in the final minute to beat the Bears 20-17 in overtime. They'll head to Seattle to face a Seahawks team that dismantled the Niners 41-6 on Saturday.
That's Tim McMaster. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
We have mostly cloudy skies, 16 degrees. Good morning. I'm Jeff Manaski, WIBX 950 AM 92.3 FM. News time is 7:05. This news update brought to you by the new destination Kia of Utica on Commercial Drive in Yorkville. Herkimer County under a winter storm warning from 7 tonight until 7 o'clock on Wednesday morning. Could see several inches of snow. Some saying several feet in certain areas. We'll take a closer look at your forecast coming up in just a few minutes. One person is recovering after being stabbed in Utica. Police were called to the 1400 block of Lenox Ave at around 3 o'clock on Saturday afternoon. That person was taken to the hospital and is expected to survive. Police say they do not have information on a possible suspect. Anyone with information is asked to contact UPD. A house fire on West Main Street in Frankfort on Saturday night is still being investigated. Officials called to the scene at around 9 p.m. Saturday night, 228 West Main Street. Firefighters brought the blaze under control in about an hour. No injuries reported. Again, it is still under investigation. The Onondaga County Water Authority says a mandatory water conservation order for several communities is now becoming voluntary today. Repairs are finished on a transmission line that suffered a break in December, and efforts to disinfect, pressurize, and refill pipes are currently underway. Those living in Chittenango, Fayetteville, Manlius, and Canastota have been asked to save water by taking shorter showers and using bottled water instead of tap. Customers with questions can contact the OCWA directly. Today is Martin Luther King Jr. Day, and there are events around the Capital Region honoring the civil rights leader today. The Commission on Human Rights and Office of Cultural Affairs hosting a community celebration from 11 to 2 at the State Museum in Albany. An Albany lawmaker introducing a bill aimed at protecting students with disabilities. The Student Safety and Dignity in Schools Act, created by Assemblyman Angelo Santa Barbara, comes in the aftermath of an incident at a school in Schenectady where a librarian put her foot on the back of a student with ADHD. Santa Barbara says that case and others show there's a breakdown in the system of how those students are being treated. The bill has been referred to committee for consideration. And checking local gas prices, they are down again this week. AAA says the average cost for a gallon of regular fuel now at $2.95. That's a drop of 3 cents over the past week, 9 cents over the past month. Currently, the statewide average is $2.98. Nationally, it is at $2.82. WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM news time is 7:08. Here's a look at your Weather Center forecast.
Winter weather advisory does cover up northern Oneida County, points north, winter storm warnings for a big lake effect event. I mentioned this last week. The lake effect would be back, and somebody's going to get feet. We'll see some snow showers here today, maybe this afternoon, mid-20s with a gusty breeze around. Snow showers tonight, tomorrow. In town, we still could pick up a couple of inches. Most of the accumulating snowfall from about Boonville and north. Tomorrow's highs only in the middle teens and wind chills below zero. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stagik, WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
Right now, cloudy skies and 15 degrees at 7:09.
A couple of notes on that. The winter storm warning is for northern Herkimer County, and Boonville North has actually Boonville has a winter weather advisory. It turns into a winter storm warning as you go to further north in Oneida County. So basically all that snow that we're going to see in the next 24 hours, maybe 48 hours, looks to be to the north. And
let's negotiate. You know, the snowmobilers want.
They do want
They
it.
want it up there.
They
Take
do.
it up there.
They can have it up there.
Take as much as you want.
As much as you want.
All right, we talked about it last hour. A disappointing Saturday night for a lot of Bills fans. The divisional round of the NFL postseason continued Sunday. The Patriots thumped the Texans behind 48 turnovers from Houston. Now, it wasn't that many, but, geez, it was close. Texans fall 28-16 in Foxborough. The Pats are headed back to the AFC Championship game. Of course, they will take on the Bo Nix-less Denver Broncos. He broke his ankle in that win over the Bills. Also, the nightcap last night, the Rams edged the Bears 20-17 in overtime in Chicago. That sets up an NFC Championship game of Seattle hosting the Rams. That will come up on Sunday as well. More NFL news. The Steelers say they're open to bringing back Aaron Rodgers. However, the scenario is unlikely after Mike Tomlin stepped down as head coach last week. The 42-year-old Rodgers did not commit to retirement, but did not say he would return in the aftermath of Pittsburgh's wild-card loss to Houston last week. This year, Rodgers threw 24 touchdowns against 7 interceptions. If you're looking for more football, the college national championship game is tonight. Top-ranked Indiana squares off against number 10 Miami from the Hurricanes' home turf. Miami is playing for its 6th national championship. The Hoosiers, meanwhile, are a perfect 15-0 this season, and this would be their first title game appearance in program history. The Nets lost in Chicago last night, 124-102. The Knicks will host the Mavericks tonight at MSG. The Knicks have dropped 3 straight in 4 of their last 5. The Utica Pioneers skated to a 9-1 victory over Nazareth this weekend. They're now 10-5 overall and 6-0 in conference play. Coming up for the Pioneers, a pair of home games this weekend against Albertus Magnus. The Comets played 3 this weekend. Unfortunately, they dropped 2 of 3, but did skate to a home win at the Adirondack Bank Center on Saturday as they took down Rochester. 3-0 was the final on Saturday.
They've been doing well at home.
Yeah. They certainly playing better. Of course, it's a great atmosphere at the Adirondack Bank Center.
Central New York weather's going to be brutal. New York Sash has you covered now through the end of the month. It's their buy 2, get 1 free sale. It's going on. It's the best deal of the year. Buy 2 New York Sash windows, get 1 free. And it's the most affordable way because you not only can save on the installation of your windows, but you can save on your energy bill as well. Imagine sitting by the window without feeling that icy breeze. Lower heating bills. Imagine a warmer, quieter, more comfortable home. And quieter is something to consider as well because your home will be quieter from the outside in. It'll be quieter with the New York Sash triple pane windows. Also, there's a home show coming up here soon. You can take advantage of a huge giveaway. It's their $25,000 home improvement giveaway. Go to their website at newyorksash.com to sign up. The $25,000 prize will be awarded during the home show, which will be at the Nexus Center, Utica University Nexus Center. It's New York Sash, 349 Oriskany Boulevard, Whitesboro. You can go online, newyorksash.com, and let the New York Sash family take care of your family this cold winter. And we're into, I know you're looking at the numbers, the temperatures, the overnight lows, going to be cold.
Yes, 4, 5, 7 degrees below zero this weekend.
And we're probably talking through the end of January and into February. No break in at least right now in store. Quick break, 7:13. Coming up, WIBX free money question of the day for this MLK Day. Davey is at $150. Is that your number? $150. We'll do that coming up about 7:35. Could be our second winner of 2026 coming up here.
With snow piles up in central New York, you still got work to do. Get it done with Bobcat from Warner Sales and Service. Bobcat skid steer loaders, truck loaders, and excavators cut through deep snow, slippery streets, and frozen job sites with ease. They're fast, tough, and built for upstate winters, delivering soft traction, low ground disturbance, and all-day comfort. From streets and sidewalks to driveways and lots, nothing clears like a Bobcat. Push it to the limit this winter with Bobcat from Warner Sales and Service. Visit WarnerSS.com.
One of America's funniest comedians is coming back to Utica. Jimmy Fallon, comedian and host of Fox Across America on WIBX, the TD host of Fox News, Saturday night, bringing an all-new hilarious show to the Rome Capitol Theater, Saturday, February 7th at 7 p.m. Tickets start at $38 and can be purchased at RomeCapital.com. A portion of the proceeds benefit Real Men Get Tested for Cancer. Purchase tickets at the box office or at RomeCapital.com. Jimmy Fallon. One night, one show. Get your tickets now.
Attention patriotic Americans. To honor the 250th anniversary of American independence, the United States Mint is striking a groundbreaking American Silver Eagle coin. The 1776 to 2026 W American Silver Eagle is the first dual-dated coin in this series' history. Its inspiring dual date pays tribute to our nation's founding fathers, the Declaration of Independence in 1776, and the spirit of the American Revolution that lives on today in 2026. Now is your chance to get this first of its kind dual-dated American Silver Eagle in perfect proof 70 Ultra Cameo condition, like nothing collectors have ever seen. But hurry, pre-sale slots are limited. With mintage of just 500,000 coins, this release is a true absolute rarity. Secure your 250th anniversary Silver Eagle now with Rare Collectibles TV exclusive pre-sale. Call 800-925-1544 now before they sell out. That's 800-925-1544. 800-925-1544.
Get a smile for every season at Rosansky Family Dentistry. For crowns to veneers, we'll keep you smiling all year long. We're also excited to welcome Dr. Kutaria to our team. With her arrival, we now offer Friday appointments from 8 a.m. to noon, giving you more flexibility for the care you need. Call us today at 315-732-1981 to schedule your visit. That's Rosansky Family Dentistry, 1 Paris Road, New Hartford. Find us on Facebook or online at uticasmiles.com.
Hey, I got you something.
What's this?
Just a little Galentine's gift from Jewelry Television.
JTV, I love their jewelry. I had my eye on this pearl bracelet on JTV.com. Plus, I love their colored gemstone jewelry. And oh, have you seen their gold?
Right now, take up to 70% off select jewelry and gifts at JTV.com.
You are not going to believe their gemstones and their artisan collections. Gorgeous.
Are you going to open your gift?
It's the pearl bracelet.
Visit JTV.com.
It's the NFL Conference Championships Tailgate Party, Sunday, January 25th, 1 till 5 at Waterfront Grill Herkimer. A full tailgate buffet, drinks, multiple TVs, and over 50 auction prizes like New York Giants tickets, 5 tickets to a Buffalo Bills game, plus a pair of tickets to see Jimmy Taylor, February 7th at the Rome Capitol. $30 tickets benefit the Great American Heart Running Walk, Little Falls Hospital, Herkimer County Humane Society, and Real Men Get Tested for Cancer. Sunday, January 25th, 1 to 5 at Waterfront Grill Herkimer from WIBX 950 at 92.3 FM. Celebrating 100 years. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
Richard, stop complaining, Bills fans. You had 5 turnovers. You don't deserve to win. Yes, the refs had a bad day, but Buffalo should have lost in overtime on a terrible non-holding call in the end zone, which would have resulted in a safety and Buffalo loss. It was a badly reffed game, but bad both ways. End of story. Move on.
I did see a screenshot of that. I didn't see it live as it happened. I was watching, but I didn't catch it. Richard is correct.
Richard
there was a missed holding call with Allen in the end zone.
Stafford will be the MVP, and May will be second. That's Richard.
Okay.
All right. And Big Honey, seems like Trump is on the Make the Western Hemisphere Great Again operation. Let's draw in Greenland into the Western Hemisphere, if we could.
Okay. Actually, no, not okay. Well, I don't know why we're doing this. I think it's a little ridiculous. It's more than a little ridiculous. Can we focus on the problems here? There's chaos going on. I don't understand. Is this a diversion? Is this a look here while we work on this? I don't. Did you sign up for this? Where's my camera? When you voted for Trump, you signed up for this? I don't think so.
Last Thursday in Miami, a small Uber Eats delivery robot was rolling across some railroad tracks against the warning lights. Went right through, even though the gate came down and the warning lights went right through and got wiped out by a train. I don't know if you saw that.
No.
Yeah.
What, do you got audio there?
There is
it's
a little
probably
audio.
Just a ding, ding, ding.
There is a little audio. Somehow there's audio of it, I guess. Ooh. Yeah.
Was anybody killed?
Just the robot.
That's quite a violent collision.
The robot went down.
Glad nobody else was hurt. And this is another reason, in my opinion, why when we get into AI and self-driving vehicles and stuff, people think it's a cure-all, avoid DWIs, fatal accidents, and all this stuff. There are still mistakes that happen. And I'm not even necessarily blaming this on AI. It was a robot. But there's still accidents and stuff. I don't trust this.
Well, the robot using AI and GPS and all that, it should be able to see there is a train problem. And that has been a problem with the self-driving cars as well, train tracks. A months-long investigation led to the arrest of a 51-year-old man who was routinely throwing hundreds of roofing nails onto a roadway in Florida. These stories only happen in Florida. Detectives say they saw Felix Urtesi, or Uretzi is his name, Felix Uretzi, throwing the nails on the road. Here are some of the victims with flat tires speaking out.
I would be highly surprised if there was under 300 or 400 victims when this is all said and done. So I had 3 nails the first day, A week later, another 1 or 2, and it was about a nail a week minimum.
We've had 3 on my car and 2 on my husband's.
Find a different hobby or pastime, maybe a less expensive one. I don't know.
Odd, right?
If he's convicted, I don't know what his financial status is. I would imagine it's...
Well, he apparently can afford roofing nails.
Apparently. There should be a way for all these victims to, if they can show that they were out traveling on that road and had to get a tire replaced for a flat tire, nail in the tire, they should be able to sue him. This is so unacceptable.
There should be some financial recourse and inconvenience potentially too. With a flat tire, it could cause an accident.
It could.
Could
you imagine on your commute to work, like 3 times in a month, you had to fix a flat tire because there were nails in it,
and you can't figure it out. Travis Broadbeck is an associate director of data management at Siena Research Institute, and each year they put out the latest on the New York State Index of Consumer Sentiment. How do you feel when it comes to the finances as a consumer? On the line right now is Travis Broadbeck. Good morning, Travis. Thanks for coming on.
Good morning and happy MLK Day. How you doing today?
Happy MLK Day. Doing well. So what do you find? What are your findings?
Absolutely. So this is a quarterly poll that the Siena Research Institute has been conducting ever since 1999. And we actually do this poll in conjunction with the University of Michigan's poll that they do of the nation. So we have this really interesting comparison study for over 26 years. And the results that we're looking at this quarter are actually quite astonishing, to be quite honest.
Okay.
So when we consider 1 year ago, right after the 2024 election, we actually had an incredibly high surge in consumer sentiment. So a year ago, the index value in New York State was 78.1. 1 year later, our index value is 68.8. So a year-over-year decrease of 9.3 points. Now, that's here in New York. In the greater United States, which traditionally is higher than New York, their index score was 74 points even right after the election in 2024. And today it stands at 52.9, a 21-point drop year over year.
Wow.
And what this is really telling us is there was a lot of hope about the economic future. The current view of the economy was becoming rosier as inflation got a little bit less and less. But a year after the election, a lot of those hopes have either not materialized or have been put on hold. Now, the interesting part about this is despite the fact that people are down in the dumps about the current economy, about the future of the economy, they actually continue to spend. So when we look at our buying plans, we ask folks in the next 6 months, do you plan on buying a car or truck, consumer electronics, furniture, a home, or even a home improvement project? We see that there hasn't been any really significant change in those buying plans. The most significant change is furniture. We see a 9.7% decrease, percentage point decrease year over year, but everything else overall has relatively been unchanged. So people are down in the dumps about the economy, but they continue to spend.
What I find,
what's up with that?
What I find interesting is New York. Now, we are the state that is highly taxed. We keep hearing about, and these are facts, these are real numbers of people moving out of the state. Whether it be for financial or tax or political reasons, moving out of New York. Yet New York is so far ahead of the rest of the nation when it comes to where we feel the economy is right now and what we feel when it comes to the future. I find that really ironic.
Yes, and part of that is how robust of an economy that New York State has. We have a really robust agricultural sector that is highly supported by local farming, but also our trade with our Canadian partners. We have the large financial industry in New York City, et cetera, and then we have our various different manufacturing sectors. I believe Micron, their latest facility, had just broken ground. So New York does have a lot of different parts of their economy that allows us to offset against a lot of these national trends. But I definitely hear you when you look at other polls. We even did a poll a couple of years ago about folks who want to remain in New York State. And we did see that a lot of folks did criticize whether it was the regulatory environment, the cost of living, things like that about living in the state.
All right. But somehow we are, even upstate, the numbers upstate, it's not just in New York City, but the numbers upstate looking forward seem quite promising. I find that interesting. And you do wonder, because if you remember, after President Trump was elected, I think a lot of people expected the prices to immediately just go down. I remember the day after Election Day, talking to somebody who said, I can see the price of eggs going down as I stand here right now. Well, that hasn't happened. Even the cost of gasoline, while it is down, it's not down that far. And I think there is, whether we all want to admit it or not, there's a little buyer's remorse here.
Definitely, we see that in the data as well. We asked a series of questions about the 6 most common expenses that people face and how serious of an impact that these expenses are having on one's financial condition. So we asked about food and groceries, utilities, housing, your entertainment and streaming services, since that is such an essential nowadays, gasoline, and cell phones. And what we saw, which was a little striking in some of the news that we see coming out of the governor's office and Assemblyman Santa Barbara's office, is we have a 6% year-over-year increase in folks who are saying that their utility prices are having a serious or very or somewhat serious impact on their financial condition. Housing is stuck at 72% year-over-year. So 72% of New Yorkers said last year their housing prices, or housing, rent, mortgage, et cetera, are having a serious impact on their financial condition. The same is true today. So the cost of houses has not gone down. Utilities is up. We have a little bit of relief in food and gas, both decreasing 3 percentage points year over year. But your entertainment services have gone up by 2%, and across all 6. So we ask New Yorkers, are you having a serious impact from your food, utilities, housing, entertainment, gas, and cell phone? Last year, in 2024, only 17% of New Yorkers. This year, it's 18% of New Yorkers. Yes, that 1% doesn't sound like a lot, but for all 6 categories to have a serious impact, it really says that we're moving in the wrong direction when we talk about affordability. And New Yorkers are really expressing that they want to see some change. And we'll possibly see that as more of the AI revolution impacts the labor market, and as the Federal Reserve takes movement and actions on interest rates.
And then what do you have you done any surveys, any research into what AI is about to do in the next 10 years to the job market?
We haven't done any research yet, but that's actually something that we're looking into in this upcoming year, is to really understand, what people are afraid of, what they're leaning into. A common saying that I hear at Siena University is, AI will not replace you. Someone who knows how to use AI will replace you. So we need to understand how much of the economy actually will be impacted by some of these changes.
I got to tell you, I'm still bothered by the AI mistakes. And it will tell you, there's always an asterisk that says in fine print usually, make sure you check. Sometimes there are mistakes. But what I have a problem with is when I ask AI to do something, it says, oh, absolutely. Let me get to it. And bingo, within 5 seconds, 10 seconds, it's written code for a website, or it's created whatever you're trying to get it to create. But when you go to use it, it doesn't work. And I'm assuming that's the consumer version of AI. There are much better versions out there, but there's a little disappointment when it comes to what AI can do for all of us. You really have to check for mistakes.
That is true, and the positivity bias that you talked about, it is eager to serve you, and it tells you how great of an idea that is. Even though if you actually were speaking to a human, they might give you a different perspective and say, have you considered this alternative approach? So yeah, there is a lot of problems with AI, and we actually did an experiment just for fun here to see, can an AI respond to a survey like a normal human would? And what we found was the results were starkly different.
Yeah.
Where AI was positive and rosy about all the good things about the United States, our values, when you think about liberty, freedom, equality, stuff like that, which did not align with what the average human respondent actually replied. So, yeah, AI, even though it looks real, there's a lot of underneath the surface that people don't understand that makes the quality questionable.
I'm imagining my entire audience is made up of AI listeners. I mean, they would be like, Bill, you are absolutely correct. Yes, I agree with you 100%, versus our human listeners who don't agree with anything I say. I don't know. I don't know, Travis. There may be some appeal to this AI after all. Interesting stuff. Can people find the full survey online?
Absolutely. If they go to sri.siena.edu, so Siena with one N, SIENA, they'll be able to find all of our results and our results of our political research and some of our social and cultural research. And since sports season is wrapping up with the Super Bowl just a few weeks away, I do want to tease that we'll be releasing our annual sports and fanship survey in the next 2 months or so. So be on the lookout for that. A lot of cool topics in there, including gambling.
I wouldn't make any calls to anyone upstate in the next couple of days. We're all very, very depressed. So
it was a tough weekend. I know that for sure.
It was. All right, Travis. Good stuff. Thank you as always. We appreciate it.
Thank you very much, and have a great day.
All right, you do the same. Travis Broadbeck with Siena. Quick break. We'll do Habaika's Free Money Question of the Day, and I'll give you a chance at $150, but also, as a consolation, give somebody a chance to win. This is no consolation. It's 3 weeks away. Jimmy Fallon coming to the Rome Capitol Theater. Tickets available at RomeCapital.com. It's going to be a great show. It's all new. And there's so much to talk about. And we'll give you a chance to win with that coming up in a second. Stand by. Manansky updates the news coming right up at WIBX.
Hurt in a car? Call William Attar. 315-444-4444.
Considering a new bed? Mattress Express is upstate New York's largest bedding specialty retailer. No one in New York State has all the brands under one roof that Mattress Express has. That means we have the largest selection. With our guaranteed lowest price program, if you buy anywhere else, you will overpay for your next mattress. Here's how it works. Simply bring in a locally advertised price on a brand we carry, and we will beat the price. Furthermore, if within 90 days of purchase you see that mattress advertised for less, bring it to our attention. We will refund the difference. Guaranteed lowest price. Now, waiting for your tax return? Don't wait. Right now we have no money down, no interest for 12 months, and no payments for 90 days for qualified buyers. Go to mattressexpressny.com for a location nearest you. Call 1-800-NEW-BEDS. Don't overpay for your next mattress.
Welcome to the most wonderful time of the year, when millions of Americans open their credit card statements, scream in terror, and start looking for new ways to save money. If that's you, why not cut your wireless bill in half with a saver plan from Pure Talk? You'll get unlimited talk, text, and 3 gigs of high-speed data on a super-fast 5G network for just $20 a month. Ho, ho, ho. Just dial pound 250, say micro, and Pure Talk's U.S. customer service team will help you switch in minutes. Again, talk, text, and data for just $20 a month.
Cloudy skies, 15 degrees. Good morning. I'm Jeff Manansky, WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM News Time, 7:34. This news update is brought to you by the new destination Kia of Utica on Commercial Drive in Yorkville. Bill, following up on that last segment, most Americans think the economy has grown weaker under President Trump. The poll released by the Wall Street Journal finds nearly 60% of those surveyed rate the economy as not so good or poor. Less than 10% described the economy as excellent. 33% described it as being, quote, good. Meanwhile, President Trump says Denmark cannot deal with what he calls the Russian threat to Greenland. The president has been pushing for U.S. ownership of the autonomous Danish territory. which has voiced staunch opposition to any U.S. takeover. Trump over the weekend announced new tariffs against European countries that oppose his plans. Minnesota Mayor Jacob Frey says he isn't pleased with reports 1,500 active duty soldiers are ready for possible deployment to Minnesota amid ongoing anti-ICE protests. During an interview with CNN's State of the Union, Frey said the move is clearly designed to intimidate. The divisional round of the NFL postseason in the books. The Patriots thumped the Texans 28-16 from Foxborough. The Rams got by the Bears 20-17 in overtime. New England now visits Denver in the AFC Championship game. After the Broncos took out the Bills, LA will head to Seattle to play for a spot in Super Bowl 60. Of course, today is MLK Day. There is no trading on Wall Street. No major economic reports on the calendar until Wednesday. And a Republican candidate for governor in Florida suggesting a 50% sin tax on OnlyFans incomes. James Fishback recently said on the conservative podcast NXR that all creators in Florida should pay a 50% sin tax to the state on all earnings gained through that platform. The sin tax would fund crisis pregnancy centers, mental health initiatives, and education systems. WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM News Time, 7:36. Here's a look at a messy Weather Center forecast.
Winter weather advisory does cover up northern Oneida County, points north, winter storm warnings for a big lake effect event. I mentioned this last week. The lake effect would be back, and somebody's going to get feet. We'll see some snow showers here today, maybe this afternoon, mid-20s with a gusty breeze around. Snow showers tonight, tomorrow. In town, we still could pick up a couple of inches. Most of the accumulating snowfall from about Boonville and north. Tomorrow's highs only in the middle teens and wind chills below zero. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic, WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
Cloudy skies and 15 degrees at 7:37.
Let's do Bikers. Free money question of the day, Davey. It's a chance for you to win $150 and also Jimmy Fallon tickets coming to the Rome Capitol Theater on February 7th, Super Bowl weekend.
Yes, the night before.
The night before. Davey, you're looking for what caller here this morning?
Caller 7.
7. All right.
What's that, in honor of the number of turnovers the Texans had yesterday? It was ridiculous, man.
7.
You know,
I don't know what the number was. I got to double check.
Well,
now.
Drake May had 3 of them. He can't even head the ball, and it pops right out of his hands. This is going to – I think the Broncos are going to win because I can't stand the Patriots.
Okay, for that. Well, they're going in. Well, they're going in with a reserve quarterback. Well, you never know, right? 315-736-0186. We'll do it next on WIBX.
The new year brings new health goals and wealth goals. Protecting your identity is an important step. Your info is in endless places that could expose you to identity theft, leading to lost funds. LifeLock monitors millions of data points per second. If your identity is stolen, our restoration specialists will fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Resolve to make identity health and wealth part of your New Year's goals with LifeLock. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS. Visit lifelock.com. Terms apply.
Need a new bed? Don't wait for your tax return. Mattress Express has 1 year, no interest, no money down, and no payments for 90 days for qualified buyers. Stop into any store or apply online at mattressexpressny.com.
Destination Kia. Megan, be honest. Did we put espresso in the showroom coffee?
No, people are just excited about 0.9 APR financing for 60 months on 2025 Kia Tellurides.
That explains the dancing and the hugging.
It's January, James. 3 rows, all-wheel drive, advanced safety.
And an interest rate so low, I had to squint to read it.
Exactly. The Telluride does almost everything except fly.
Yet. Make that short drive to save.
Go kooky for Kia at Destination Kia of Utica. Puppies and babies not included.
0.9% APR with well-qualified credit through KMF. $16.67 per month for 1,000 financed. 720 plus FICO score in lieu of rebates. Offer expires 2/2/26.
Destination Kia.
Hey, the new year brings with it new health goals, wealth goals. Now, protecting your identity is an important step. You don't want identity theft to make your life miserable. LifeLock, they monitor millions of data points every second. If, God forbid, your identity is stolen, LifeLock will give you a restoration specialist. They'll fix it, guaranteed. Resolve to make your identity, health, and wealth part of your New Year's resolution with LifeLock. You'll save 40% off your first year. Use the promo code Hannity.
Terms apply. Hurt in a car? Call William Attar. 315-444-4444.
Celebrating 100 years.
This is Keeler.
WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Now back to the Keeler Show.
And here we go. It's time for Hobica's free money question of the day. It comes from the Hobica Law Firm. Joseph and Andrew Hobica at 315-724-1600. Are we ready to go? Our contestant this morning is from Utica, and his name is Wayne. Hello, Wayne. Good morning.
Well, hello, Bill.
Well, hello, Wayne.
What's up, guys?
Good morning. All right, so I had a couple of comments from you. Do you want me to read them here?
No, you don't have to.
Let's see.
Sometimes I just send them to you personally.
Horrible calls. Buffalo should have played better. Yeah, I agree with that. I think that's a really good way of, and so should Josh Allen. He made so many great plays, but you can't have mistakes like that. And what
His
happened?
offensive line, if it was a little bit better, he'd be a lot better.
I think offensive line had a better receiver. I mean, this is stuff they have to work on. This constant having to have him become some Superman is not. Eventually he's going to get hurt.
Bill, that guy was down, right? When he caught that ball, that interception, that guy that caught the ball was down, right? You can't rip it out of his hand and then all of a sudden become the guy that intercepted it.
Well, all I can tell you is similar plays have been called a reception. It was even overturned in December, a call just like this, and it was overturned. They called it an interception. It was overturned instead of catch, according to New York. But ultimately, they say you must survive the ground. You cannot lose the ball by hitting the ground, and that's what happened here. So, I mean, by the letter of the law, by the rule book, the right call was made.
All right, how about one more?
Well,
Bills
that's
fans
big
don't
for
want
a
to hear
Bills
that.
fan to say that.
Well, I'm saying
I agree.
Yeah.
By the pure definition of what they're telling us. The problem I have is all the times that they have gone, that call has gone another way. There shouldn't be that inconsistency.
Right.
That's my opinion.
How about that catch in the back of the end zone? That guy, the Buffalo guy who missed that damn catch in the back of the end zone.
Yeah. He's got to go.
You just don't miss that catch.
Yep. I agree. Okay.
Well, you know what, though? On that play, there was a holding penalty. It would have been
It would have been called back anyway.
Yeah, it would have been
but
negated
still,
anyway.
It
woulda, coulda, shoulda.
It showed there's a problem.
Yeah.
You got to catch that ball. All right, here we go. You'll have a question here, and then who knows what happens after that. This is for $150. And are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, this is for $150. Here is your question. Nike used to operate under a different name. Before it was Nike, it was called what?
I have no idea.
This is listed under. This is
Nokia,
listed.
The Nokia.
Nokia, yeah, as opposed to Nike. You know the answer to this?
No, I have no idea.
I didn't either, and it's listed under easy, an easy question, and I'm thinking I don't see this as being easy at all. The answer is before Nike was Nike, it was Blue Ribbon Sports.
Really?
Did you even
like
know
the
that?
Beer.
Yeah.
Like the beer.
Yeah, kind of a
Pabst sneakers.
Pabst type thing. Blue Ribbon Sports. All right, do you want to play to win Jimmy Fallon tickets for February 7th?
Why not?
All right.
He's the man.
Here is your question. In his teens, this is for Jimmy Fallon tickets. In his teens, this Pittsburgh pickle king was running a business to supply grocers with fresh produce. Who was he? Ready, go.
Terry Bradshaw Clausen.
You want to guess?
Was Terry correct? The first name? No. Okay. No, I don't know.
I would only needed the last name. I'm sorry, Wayne. Henry was Henry. 50. How many different varieties of out of Pittsburgh? They even made a stadium. They named a stadium after the guy. Heinz.
Oh, that's a good trick question.
Yeah.
I like that.
All right.
That's good. That's all right.
All right. Well, Wayne, you try again. Stand by, okay? Davey's going to hook you up. We'll give you the all-in-one food and fun cards, $25 gift card. Good at
Take care,
Babes
man.
and Taylor the Cook and Aquavino and the Odd and Nexus. Stand by, okay?
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. I thought that was an easy one. I thought you guys
Blue Bonnet
would've
Sports.
nailed
Huh?
that.
No, it's Blue Ribbon.
Blue Ribbon Sports. That one was tough. Although it came in the category of easy question.
Yeah, I'd never
don't
heard
see it.
that before.
All right. I asked Davey for the pronunciation, and he did not come back to me. And I'm going to feel bad because I'm going to butcher Tammy's last name.
So am I.
She is running for the Assembly in the 117th District, which is currently held by Ken Blankenbush. She is currently the Chief of Staff for Ken Blankenbush. And her name is, this is Tammy Nabawamich. Good morning, Tammy.
Wow, you were pretty close. It was the last part that was off. It's always good fun for me to hear it.
Nabawamich? Ick. Oh, I
Yeah.
didn't know if there'd be a CH at the end. Darn it. I was so close.
Yeah, you did good. You did good.
All right, Tammy, good morning. Good morning. And thank you for coming on. And you're running in the 117th. You're currently the Chief of Staff for Ken Blankenbush, who is going to be not running for re-election. So tell me, why should the people of the 117th vote for you?
I think the most simple answer is I've been doing the job with Ken for the last 3 years, so I already know what I'm doing going in. I know the obstacles that we have. I know when you have to choose to work bipartisan-wise and when you have to choose to fight harder and be your own voice. I'm a North Country girl, and at the end of the day, I just want to be there giving, our constituents a voice at the table.
In order to have that voice at the table as a Republican in the New York legislature, whether it be the Senate or the Assembly, you have to have a relationship with the other side. Would you agree with that?
You absolutely have to have a relationship. I think the misunderstanding a lot of times is people like to go in it at the optic way. I'm going to go in there and I'm going to yell and I'm going to scream and I'm going to say we're not getting our fair shake. And yes, you have to do that at times. But at the end of the day, because it is built on a majority and a minority, and we're in the minority, we have to figure out sometimes where maybe it's not going to be, our representative's name carrying the bill. Maybe we're going to have to ask a rural upstate Dem to carry the bill, or maybe we're going to have to advocate a lot harder, but we're going to still have to get the majority Democrat, somebody to want to vote for our bills because we are in the minority.
Yeah. What do you see as the big problem areas right now in New York State government, especially for us here in upstate New York?
Can I check all of the above?
Yeah, there's a lot. Yeah.
There's a lot. I don't like using this word, but you have to use it. The affordability, I think it's a buzzword right now for the Democrats that can use it. We've been using it all along as Republicans. Those energy policies are killing us. Mm-hmm. And that's one of the reasons why, we don't have the infrastructure for them. And that's why you're seeing a 30% increase in our national grid bill. I think things like that are just not common sense, but are having an effect across the state and in our rural communities. Those are real challenges. Public safety, how we treated, our law enforcement officers. We've got to get a grip on that stuff. And I think, how we handle rural versus urban. is a big deal. We're not New York City. We don't have New York City problems. You know, we're up here dealing with the winter. You know, I don't know about you guys, but I was just down there last week and you had a whole lot of snow. So you're not going to be able to do electric snowplows.
This electric mandate, too, on school buses, on large vehicles like Mack trucks, it just seems to be every expert, and this is not even about, it's not even about money, it seems. It's more about the infrastructure that doesn't exist. It just is, it's something we're not ready for, it seems.
And I don't think anybody is opposed to, you know, conserving our environment. And I mean, if anything, up here, we love our environment. We're hunters. We are outdoorsmen. We want to keep our environment solid and healthy. The problem is, you know, you cannot do it in one day. You cannot do it in 10 years. You have to have that infrastructure. So those school buses, a lot of people don't realize that. Let's get past this common sense stuff, whereas, you know, we have a lot of buses that have to start out at 6 o'clock in the morning to drop off by 7:30. So you're out there. You're never going to be able to run these buses on the caliber that we run them up here and be able to do electric. Number one, but people don't realize that going back to the bus garage, the infrastructure just in the garage needed. You know, the weight underneath the cement to carry the bus has to be all recalibrated. It's nuts.
They say they're estimating it would be billions of dollars that right now becomes an unfunded mandate on these school districts and communities across the country. I don't see it. What about bail reform? Your thoughts?
Oh, I think bail reform has been horrible. It was a horrible policy, and you know, nobody's going to unfortunately go in and ask for the repeal of it. We've been asking. It's not going to get done. We're hoping for some amendments. You know, I think what we do lose sight of is we do actually have successes in the Assembly and the Senate. And those successes are, you know, Republicans stand up and they fight these bills and they debate them. And we have a tremendous staff in Albany that puts research into this. And so when we're doing that, what we're doing is we're setting up for the amendments that can make these bills actually and these laws more tolerable and more where we can live with them. I don't like that. I'd like us not to put the cart before the horse, but that's not New York State. So we just work really, really hard because we're in the minority right now to make sure that we are fighting the fight so that we can turn these bills around and make sure that there's something that our communities can deal with. We're not there with bail reform. It's a nightmare, but we're going to continue to do that. And I'm hopeful in this upcoming session you'll see some movement on that.
We're speaking with Tammy Nabawamik, is running for the 117th Assembly District in New York. She's currently the Chief of Staff for Ken Blankenbush, who is not going to run for re-election. I do have somebody asking, what is your opinion of the state of the Oneida County Republican Party?
Listen, I'm a Republican committee member in my home county. There's 4 counties in this district. I am all about the committees being forceful on working towards the goal of getting Republicans elected. I don't try to get into county politics or town politics in regards to, if you ask me to go help get a Republican elected, you're going to see me out there doing the work and the petition work. So I'm thankful to any Republican who's out there doing the work to get other Republicans elected, and I think that that's what we need to focus on.
All right. Anything else you want to add and hopefully we'll have you back again before I'm assuming we're going to be looking at a primary here. We are definitely looking at it. It's a busy, this is a busy district. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great district. Why wouldn't people want to run?
Anything else you want people to know?
Listen, I share the feelings with Wayne. The Bills game was tough, man.
Okay. Was it a catch? Was it not a catch? What do you think?
I don't know. I've been a Bills fan for a long time. You know, my heart's in it. But boy, it's just
that's the hardest part.
It's
the hardest part, and as if it couldn't get worse for us in the studio, we're Mets fans also. Oh boy,
no,
it's just terrible. Just terrible.
Well,
Listen to
fan, so I got
that. Sounds like a Yankees fan to me. That's all I'm saying. All right, Tammy. We do appreciate it and hope we can do this again soon. Thank you so much.
All right. Appreciate you guys. Thanks.
All right. Have a great day. A couple of comments on that. Mike and Clinton, my biggest issue with the controversial interception is they didn't stop to do a full review of the play. I completely agree. And they could have stopped a lot. They could have really stopped a lot of this complaining and the lack of confidence in the NFL had they done that.
I agree.
And I do think that was McDermott's part of it. McDermott's argument. They should have stopped and looked at it, like in December when they did. In a regular season game, and New York overturned it and called it a reception. Bob T. in Whitesboro. I think the NFL should make pass interference a 15-yard penalty. Very interesting. As opposed to throw the ball way downfield, a Hail Mary, and hope to draw a penalty so that you go from the 20-yard line to the red zone. In college ball, it's not that way. It's just a 15-yard penalty.
It is just a 15-yard penalty. I will say, though,
automatic first down, but you're now on 35 as opposed to your opponent's 19-yard line.
Yes. The only thing is, though, it encourages the defender, if you're beat on a big play, just hold him.
Yeah.
It only costs you 15. You know, instead of potentially getting burned for a touchdown, just hold the guy and you get another chance. So I don't know.
Right, versus giving up the touchdown. Right, yeah. Well, in this case, all you needed to do was get that ball down there and kick the field goal.
Yeah, and they had more than, I think it was 53 yards in penalties on that final drive. The Bills defense. There was 2 pass interference calls. And then to make matters worse, the defender who got called for the penalty went like face-to-face with the ref. Not that I don't think it would have mattered because they were already down there anyway. Went face-to-face with the ref, took his helmet off and slammed it on the ground and got an unsportsmanlike conduct, which from there was half the distance to the goal. But again, they were already at the 11 or the 8. Yeah. I mean, it didn't matter. But
one more. Big Honey this morning. Drake May, 2026 NFL MVP. Also, Davey. Stop acting like a tough guy. If you've seen Drake May at the strip club, you would give him a lap dance yourself. Boom, 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 boom. What do you think about that, Davey?
Nope.
No, you don't agree with Big Honey here.
He is going to be the MVP, but if I seen him in the strip club, I want to give him a lap dance.
You would not? Are you
no,
sure?
I'm not that type of person.
You're not?
No.
You absolutely would not.
Hell no.
Okay. Hell no.
Josh Allen?
No.
No, Josh Allen, he might. Josh Allen, he might. And does anybody have an opinion on Josh Allen breaking down, crying at the press conference?
Look, I thought it was genuine and sincere. It's not a good look. I didn't think it was a good look for the head coach to come out whining about, I did it for Buffalo. I'm complaining for Buffalo. Yeah, no kidding.
I must feel like he was trying to do some damage control to keep his job.
I just thought it was so phony.
But did you see
Josh Allen crying? Hang on. To the point about Josh Allen crying, I thought it was legitimate,
that was not phony.
sincere.
That was real.
I think that shows you how invested he is.
I'm not sure it's the look everybody wants.
Right.
But it's that's Josh Allen.
These are diehard Buffalo Bills fans. Did you see they flew in yesterday morning at 2 a.m. to Buffalo Niagara Falls airport? There was drones of Bills fans at 2 o'clock when the Bills fans got off.
They were helping them clean off their cars because there was a ton of snow when they got back on top of their vehicles. And then one more. I just next year when Josh Allen comes back, he's coming back as a dad.
Oh, okay.
Right. I mean, his wife will have given birth to their first child. That'll be an interesting. That changes everybody, doesn't it?
It changed me, that's for sure.
That'll be interesting.
It's hard to remember what life was like before then, and I'm sure he'll be happy to forget all these playoff losses.
River Hills Properties continues to grow, whether it's up here or if you want to consider yourself one of those snowbirds. It's nice to go into a real estate market in Sarasota and down in that Gulf Coast side of Florida with someone you know and trust. That's River Hills Properties. If you're looking to buy or sell, if you're looking to sell your home, River Hills Properties, because nobody sells homes like River Hills Properties.
WIBX Utica Road, W295
From the WB Payne Insurance Studio, your news talk leader since 1925. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now the latest from Fox News.
They went to church to protest. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. The protesters in an anti-ICE demonstration caught on video chanting Renee Good's name, the woman who was shot in a confrontation with an immigration agent. They were inside a St. Paul, Minnesota church where they say one of the pastors has ties to ICE. That protest is now under federal investigation. Senior Justice Department advisor Alina Habba tells Fox.
Our Civil Rights Division will come down hard on anybody who tries to impede or intimidate somebody in a place of worship.
1,500 U.S. troops are on standby after President Trump threatened to invoke the Insurrection Act to deal with the protesters clashing with federal officers. But Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Fry, a Democrat, tells CNN State of the Union.
This is, well, it's ridiculous, but we will not be intimidated by the actions of this federal government.
The president's also continuing his push to take control of Greenland, a territory of Denmark, threatening tariffs on some European allies who oppose it.
The president saying on Truth Social, we have subsidized Denmark and all of the countries of the European Union for many years by not charging them tariffs. It is time for Denmark to give back. World peace is at stake. China and Russia want Greenland, and there is nothing that Denmark can do about it. The tariffs on Denmark, Norway, Sweden, France, Germany, the UK, Netherlands, and Finland are set to kick in on February 1st.
That's Fox's Madeline Rivera at the White House. British Prime Minister Keir Starmer says the tariffs are wrong. France's president says Europeans may retaliate. At least 39 people are dead in Spain after a high-speed train derailed and collided with a passenger train going the other way. Some bodies found hundreds of feet away.
One passenger said the impact felt like an earthquake. Dozens remain in the hospital. The cause may not be known for weeks because Transport Minister Oscar Puente says experts are extremely baffled. The train was less than 4 years old and the track newly renovated.
That's Jonathan Savage. America's listening to Fox News.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. You know, the big wireless companies say they have discounts for people over 55. But unless you're willing to sit on hold and ask, you're probably paying more than you should. At Consumer Cellular, there's nothing to hunt down. We're built for people 50 plus with plans starting at just $20. And our 100% US-based customer service actually answers the phone. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com today and get your second month free for a limited time.
Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
Following the attacks on 9/11/01, FDNY firefighter Daniel Foley assisted in the rescue and recovery efforts at Ground Zero. Daniel spent months and months searching for victims. Now, Daniel's death was the direct result of 9/11-related cancer. He leaves behind his wife, Carrie, and their children. Tunnel to Towers paid the mortgage on the family's home. Join us. Donate $11 a month to the Tunnel to Towers Foundation. Go to their website, the letter T, the number 2, the letter T.org.
The Justice Department continues to investigate Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell, who insists he'll keep doing his job until his term's up this year without fear or political influence. At issue whether Powell was truthful testifying to Congress about renovations to the Federal Reserve building and the cost.
Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent answered criticism that President Trump wants to rein in the Fed's independence in setting interest rates by saying on NBC's Meet the Press,
"Independence does not mean no oversight."
Secretary Bessent also reacted to reports he told the president he was unhappy that the Powell investigation happened.
If I said that, I was wrong. Financial markets, stock market went up, bond yields went down.
Fed Chairman Powell claimed earlier this month not following the preference of the president on interest rates brought about the DOJ probe. Gernal Scott, Fox News.
Well, it's Martin Luther King Jr. Day, so schools, post offices, and a lot of banks and the stock market will be closed. The president will go to Switzerland this week, joining other political and business leaders attending the World Economic Forum in Davos. It starts today. He'll speak Wednesday.
In his speech, the White House says the president will lay out proposals to bring down housing costs. He's also expected to meet with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky as peace talks with Russia have stalled. Before flying to Europe, President Trump will make the short trip from Mar-a-Lago to Hard Rock Stadium in Miami tonight for the college football championship between the University of Miami and Indiana. At the White House, Jared Halpern, Fox News.
Overtime drama in the NFL playoffs.
Davis at 42, online, and it's good!
That field goal won it for the Rams, beating the Bears 20-17 on NBC after Chicago had scored a last-minute touchdown to force OT. Los Angeles advances to face the Seattle Seahawks from the NFC Championship. In the AFC, the New England Patriots beat the Houston Texans 28-16 to move on to play the Denver Broncos. The winners of those games will play in the Super Bowl. I'm Dave Anthony, and this is Fox News.
We have mostly cloudy skies, 15 degrees. Good morning. I'm Jeff Manaski, WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM. News time is 8:05. This news update is brought to you by the new destination Kia of Utica on Commercial Drive in Yorkville. Northern Oneida and northern Herkimer counties facing weather advisories with a storm approaching. We'll take a closer look at that forecast coming up in just a few minutes. One person recovering after a stabbing in the city of Utica. Cops were called to the 1400 block of Lenox Ave at around 3 o'clock on Saturday afternoon. That person was taken to the hospital but is expected to survive. Police say right now they do not have a suspect. Anyone with information is asked to come forward. A house damaged on West Main Street in Frankfort. Fire crews were called to 228 West Main Street on Saturday night. Firefighters were able to bring the blaze under control in about an hour. No injuries reported. The cause there is still being investigated. The Onondaga County Water Authority says that mandatory water conservation order for several communities is becoming voluntary today. Repairs are finished on a transmission line that suffered a break in December, and efforts to disinfect, pressurize, and refill pipes are currently underway. Those living in Chittenango, Fayetteville, Manlius, and Canastota have been asked to save water by taking shorter showers and using bottled water instead of tap. Customers with questions should contact the OCWA directly. Today is Martin Luther King Jr. Day, and there are several events around the state capitol happening to honor the civil rights leader's legacy. The Commission on Human Rights and the Office of Cultural Affairs is hosting a celebration from 11 to 2 at the State Museum in Albany. There is an Albany area lawmaker introducing a bill that looks to protect students with disabilities. The Student Safety and Dignity in Schools Act, created by Assemblyman Angelo Santa Barbara, comes in the aftermath of an incident at an elementary school in Schenectady where a librarian put her foot on the back of a student who had ADHD. Santa Barbara says that case and others show there's a breakdown in the system of how students are treated, students with disabilities. The bill has been referred to committee for further consideration. And Bill, checking local gas prices in the region, the average cost for a gallon of regular fuel is now down to $2.95. That's a 3-cent drop over the past week and a 9-cent drop over the past month. Currently, the statewide average is $2.98. The national average is $2.82. Right now, cloudy skies, 15 degrees. Here's a look at your Weather Center forecast.
Winter weather advisory does cover up northern Oneida County, points north, winter storm warnings for a big lake effect event. I mentioned this last week. The lake effect would be back, and somebody's going to get feet. We'll see some snow showers here today, maybe this afternoon, mid-20s with a gusty breeze around. Snow showers tonight, tomorrow. In town, we still could pick up a couple of inches. Most of the accumulating snowfall from about Boonville and north. Tomorrow's highs only in the middle teens and wind chills below zero. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stajik, WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
Again, cloudy and 15 at 8:09. All right, from the IBEW 43 local sports desk, the Giants officially hire their new head coach. In a statement from team president John Mara, John Harbaugh has been named the 21st head coach of the G-Men. The 63-year-old has the 14th most wins in NFL history. He led the Ravens to a Super Bowl title. The Giants also have the 5th pick in this year's NFL draft. Playoff action over the weekend. We've been discussing the controversy in the Bills-Broncos game. The Broncos will now take on the New England Patriots after they beat up the Texans 28-16 from Foxborough yesterday. Also, the Rams beat the Bears 20-17 in overtime in Chicago. A great game, really. The Rams now advance to play the top-seeded Seattle Seahawks for a chance to play in Super Bowl 60. The Steelers say they're open to bringing back Aaron Rodgers. That's according to ESPN, with reports that the team remains open to Rodgers reuniting next season with the team. However, this scenario is less likely after Mike Tomlin stepped down as head coach last week. Rodgers this season, 24 touchdowns against 7 interceptions. He is currently 42 years old.
Knowing Aaron Rodgers, do you think he is going to, I mean, this is the hard part if you're Aaron Rodgers. Do you want to step down after a loss like that?
Yeah, that's a horrible way to go out. I mean, the offense looked totally inept. He did not look good.
It wasn't a good look. He's yelling at everybody. It was just
I think that's kind of been most of his season. The muttering to himself about, the guy should have ran this way. He went that way.
That's okay if you win or if it's close, but when you get blown out, it just doesn't. It looks even worse.
Yeah, they didn't
I don't know.
look good. I would be. He looks brittle to me. He really does.
He does. Yeah.
Even when he falls, like he kind of scolds the defender for touching him, and he looks like he's about to get hurt. There was he legitimately had an argument here. One of his offensive linemen or a tight end or something jumped on his back after a touchdown pass, and he was like, "What are you trying to injure me for the season?" Which I thought he was right there.
What I do enjoy, though, is how every once in a while he gets the best of somebody and he kind of laughs at him. I kind of enjoy that a little bit. But I don't know. I've never liked Aaron Rodgers, but this year I kind of found myself rooting for him.
I did, too, just because of his age.
Yeah,
I do kind of like that.
Yeah.
Bill, there's more football tonight, the national championship game in college football. Top-ranked Indiana, 15-0, squares off against number 10 Miami. And the Hurricanes are playing in their own stadium tonight. They look for a 6th national championship. For Indiana, it's their first title game appearance in program history. Local hockey action this weekend. The Comets dropped 2 out of 3, but did get a 3-0 shutout win at home on Saturday. The Utica Pioneers skate to a 9-1 win on the road against Nazareth. They're now 10-5 overall. 6-0 in conference play. They'll play 2 this weekend at the Adirondack Bank Center against Albertus Magnus.
I think they're and since December they are undefeated.
Yes,
I mean they're on fire right now.
They had a rough start. They will play Oswego coming up in a couple of weeks, a nationally ranked team. That will be a tough game, but again, these conference games are very important because if you win this conference, you get an automatic bid.
Today is Martin Luther King Day, MLK Day. So everything is not operating. No mail, no bank, no stock market. Your government offices all closed today. Schools are closed. Anything else? That's about it. But, there'll be a sale somewhere that you can take.
Keeler shows bet. No,
we're here.
We're live.
We're here.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, we're here. This is actually recorded. Bill,
we knew on Friday the Bills were going to lose.
I just knew it. I went in last week thinking the Bills were going to lose to Jacksonville, and then after they got through that, I'm like, I don't think they can be stopped. And we just saw the performance we saw. It was rough. Steve Colenso, my Hobica question Friday was Davy Jones. This music legend changed his Davy Jones. This musician. Famous musician Davy Jones changed his name to David Bowie. I usually give my question to Tim Reed. Do you think he would have known the answer? So the question was, this music legend, whose name is Davy Jones, changed his name to what? Because he didn't want it confused with Davy Jones of the Monkees. And the answer was David Bowie.
Right.
His question is, would Tim Reed have known the answer? And the answer to that is yes. In fact, I think Tim might even have texted in saying he knew the answer. Do you think Trump created this problem? This is Joe Wick. Or is this one that got to address this problem? And is he the one that tried to address the problem and became the bad guy?
What are we talking about?
Must live around construction or drive on Utica streets. All of my bills are up. You can't fix that with all the fighting they do in office. I don't know. I just think that running on a campaign that says you're going to instantly fix it and it's going to change the day you get in or after the first year you've been in was an overpromise. because that has not happened.
Well, egg prices are at their lowest level since 2019. Gas prices are slowly trickling down, but I think most consumers thought we wouldn't.
They're not down that far. I mean, they're down a little bit, but they're just, and that's the problem. And then you have other elements of your groceries that are way up. So it hasn't come down, and I do think that people, when you campaign on that it's all going to come down incredibly, that becomes a problem if it doesn't happen. That's all.
Yeah.
All I'm saying. And Larry, Bills fans, quit crying every year when you lose. You cry about something, just go win a game. Yeah. Okay. Larry, what's your team? I think Larry's a Giants fan.
I think he is. Larry, are you as excited as I am about Harbaugh?
Can I get your take on something off topic for a minute? It's sports related. It involves you two.
Okay.
I was wondering what you guys think of the Mets signing Mr. Bo Bichette.
I'm happy about it.
Yeah.
Good offensive player.
Where are they going to put him on third base and move Vientos over to first?
I think there's a whole new reconstruction of the New York Mets right now. And to be honest with you, I think the Bills should take note.
Joe Brady is being interviewed for jobs. That's number one. They need to get rid of him.
I know that. I'm just saying the Bills need what's going on and what has been going on is not working.
Right.
I don't know what that means, but there has to be big changes. And a wide receiver, star, needs to accompany Josh Allen. I mean, give me a break.
A.J. Brown from the Philadelphia Eagles would be the man.
Yeah.
Imagine if we had Stephon Diggs, as much as I despise Stephon
Diggs. Here's why I don't think Stephon Diggs would work. Stephon Diggs was there when Josh Allen was basically a baby coming into the NFL. And he became almost like a father figure. And then when he wasn't getting the ball, he was constantly in Josh Allen's ear. And while you would hope your NFL quarterback can kind of brush that off, Allen could not. And it became this rivalry, respectful, but I think it put Josh Allen in a tough place. You bring in a star wide receiver today, Josh Allen is the guy. So he can easily brush off a star wide receiver's crap in his ear. He can handle that today. Whereas it's almost like having that person who is more of an authoritative figure for you. That's what Diggs was to Josh Allen, and that's why I think it was a problem and he had to go. But you got to replace him. So I think bringing in your prima donna wide receiver won't be a problem for Josh Allen going forward because he's the captain. He's now the star and has years under his belt. Your thoughts on that?
Yeah, no, I think I agree. And I got into an argument with a Bills fan Saturday night after the game who felt like Josh Allen was to blame for that interception because
at the end
he shouldn't have forced the ball down the field to a wide receiver who is his beef was he's short and he's not that strong because he's older. And I said,
but Cooks has been good.
But what's he supposed to do? Run down the field and catch it himself?
Yeah.
I mean, you have the tools you have. And I thought criticizing him or even critiquing the play because it was ruled an interception was so Monday morning quarterback. So if Cooks catches the ball, you say, great throw. I love the call. You know what I mean? That's so Monday morning quarterback. I don't think it was. I mean, Allen was sloppy. He can't be carrying the ball around like a loaf of bread. It cost him 3 points at the end of the first half. But you're going to scapegoat Josh Allen? I don't think so.
Former producer of mine when I worked in Rhode Island, who's, of course, not a Bills fan, but a Patriots fan, sent me this. I haven't listened to it yet, so it might be garbage. Let's listen.
Wow. Yeah, Bills go dry here.
Aggressive here.
Yeah. Better head to the sideline if he wants another play. Oh, lost the football.
No. You never do that.
It is picked up by the Broncos.
No.
And there's time on the clock.
No.
And they have chance to add 3 more.
No.
50 yards it is. Lutz to end the half.
No.
With a Denver 10-point lead. 10 points in the final 22 seconds.
No.
Yeah, that's unacceptable. Again, he's carrying it like a loaf of bread. He's got to do better. But they still, I was going to say they overcame that. I mean, it was 23-10, and all of a sudden then they were back up 24-23.
And then the refs took over. That's the problem, where they didn't all game long. All of a sudden the referees became a part of the outcome of that game. And isn't that what the referees want to avoid? Isn't that what the NFL wants to avoid?
They do.
Didn't happen here, though. Got a break. Hold tight.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code ROAD to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code ROAD for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code ROAD for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Need a new bed? Don't wait for your tax return. Mattress Express has 1 year, no interest, no money down, and no payments for 90 days for qualified buyers. Stop into any store or apply online at mattressexpressny.com.
One of America's funniest comedians is coming back to Utica. Jimmy Fallon, comedian and host of Fox Across America on WIBX, a TD host of Fox News, Saturday night, bringing an all-new hilarious show to the Rome Capitol Theater, Saturday, February 7th at 7 p.m. Tickets start at $38 and can be purchased at RomeCapital.com. A portion of the proceeds benefit Real Men Get Tested for Cancer. Purchase tickets at the box office or at RomeCapital.com. Jimmy Fallon. One night, one show. Get your tickets now.
Celebrating 100 years.
This is Keeler.
WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Now back to the Keeler Show.
Well, good morning. Good morning. It's Monday, January 19th. Today is MLK Day, Martin Luther King Day. And everything's closed. No mail, all that stuff. Manaski, we have a forecast that is a little inclement that includes some warnings from the National Weather Service.
Yeah, so this is primarily for northern Oneida and northern Herkimer counties. A winter storm warning in effect from 7 tonight until 7 o'clock on Wednesday morning, specifically for northern Herkimer County. Heavy lake effect snow expected. They're talking about 6 to 12 inches for areas mainly north of Old Forge. Lake effect bands will be mainly in effect along the Route 28 corridor north. The heaviest amounts are expected to be across far northern parts of the county. Interesting that I think in some places they're saying they could get 2 feet more.
They're saying Tug Hill could be looking at 4 feet plus over the next 48 hours.
To me, that's too big of a number to even take seriously. I hope they're wrong.
Well, have you ever had, like, you must remember sometimes that we've had like 3 or 4 feet of snow.
Yes. Oh, yes.
And
I know what happens. Oh, no, I know.
It's terrible. You can't walk through that crap.
No, you can't.
Yeah.
You can't walk, drive through it, but you're still expected to show up at work, etc.
Especially in this business. All right, coming in next is Aaron's Angels. There's an event that's going to be coming up. I want to play audio on that to start. You good with that? All right, here.
Every child deserves the chance to play without worry. But in central New York, thousands of children are facing something tougher than any opponent on the ice. When a child is hungry, it's harder to concentrate, harder to learn, harder to just be a kid. Yet 1 in 5 children in our community don't know where their next meal is coming from. Aaron's Angels is fighting food insecurity right here in CNY, and you too can join the fight against childhood hunger. Join us January 24th as the Crunch face off against the Utica Comets. A percentage of all ticket sales directly benefit Aaron's Angels. Together, we can keep kids in the game.
All right, there we go. And that is happening. Well, let's get the details here. Saturday, January 24th, so it's coming up this weekend in Syracuse. And in studio right now is Jack Plants and Lou Hart, the vice president of Aaron's Angels of the Central New York. Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Good morning.
All right, so tell us what's happening here. And it's going on this weekend, right?
Yeah, so on Saturday the 24th at Upstate Arena, the Utica Comets are taking on the Syracuse Crunch. As you guys know, big rivalry. So we're asking anyone from Utica who are coming out to Syracuse for the game, please buy your tickets at aaronsangels.com/crunch. And percentage of ticket proceeds, as the audio mentioned, come back to Aaron's Angels to help us feed kids who are struggling with food insecurity in Central New York.
And if you could, Lou, tell us about Aaron's Angels.
So Aaron's Angels was founded in 2017. It was named after a child, Aaron Maxwell, who passed away due to a relative family member. And she fought with food insecurity. She was part of the Phoenix School District. She was seen asking for food during the lunch line, more food to bring home.
She would take food out of the garbage.
Yep.
She was abused, she was neglected, and she was eventually strangled by her stepbrother and murdered. And the stepbrother got 9 years, and the parents got 2 years for neglect. And, we've been here in the past talking about the New York State Children's Bill of Rights, which we're lobbying for to increase protections for children all across New York State, not just in one county or the other, all across New York State, because we're trying to establish a minimum standard of care. Right now in New York State, foster families have a minimum standard of care they have to meet, but there isn't a minimum standard of care for what I hate to call regular families.
Right.
And so, Aaron is the motivation. Aaron is the inspiration for Aaron's Angels of CNY. So we're trying to feed the future of Central New York. 1 in 5 kids in Central New York go to bed hungry on any given night.
Yeah, that's just terrible.
Isn't that wild?
Yeah.
And so, what we're trying to do is put food to these kids, and not just feed them today, but a donation to Aaron's Angels today feeds kids tomorrow.
Yeah.
We're building the financial infrastructure to create and continue an outreach program we have right now where we are providing food to school districts in counties across New York State.
Wow.
So we got a call recently from a Liverpool elementary school in Onondaga County, and we're working on providing them with snacks for their kids. We got an outreach from a school in Weedsport, and we help them out. If we get a call from the school in Oneida County, we're going to help them out.
Yeah.
So we're basically asking people, buy your tickets through aaronsangels.com/crunch. Help us feed kids.
I believe Oneida County and Herkimer County and maybe Madison, they could be Lewis too. There's a group here that does this and makes sure the kids have snacks, or if they need sneakers. It's all different things.
Yeah.
Because there are just so many kids that do go without. And Lou, if you could, just buying tickets can benefit the organization, but also after the game, which Utica's playing at Syracuse this Saturday, there are vacations people can bid on.
There are. We have, I think, 4, right?
4. Yep.
4 vacations that people can bid on. It's a minimum bid of $500. I think we have Antigua,
Bermuda, Barbados. And we're going to have a table in the concourse, and people can come to the table and they can make bids on these trips.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right. Sounded like you were starting off a Beach Boy song. Right?
You were talking about the weather. Do you remember the year it snowed on Mother's Day here?
Mother's Day and St. Patrick's Day, and we have all those days in our heads. But yeah, Mother's Day's late. But the good thing about the Mother's Day snowstorms is within a couple of days the snow goes away.
Yeah.
But not now. Not now. Speaking of Phoenix, a lot of snow up Phoenix way?
No.
No, not
No.
this year.
Surprisingly, no. I live right outside of
Wow.
Phoenix, and I'm very surprised with the little amount that we have.
So weird how these lake effect bans have hit just certain pockets. It was like this last year.
Mhm.
I'll tell you, Rome and north of Rome has been, Davey lives out there, have been pounded this year. It's just crazy.
And last year, too.
And last year. Yeah.
It snowed every day in Rome, by the way, last year. Every single day.
Yeah.
I've probably raked snow off my roof 7 times so far.
I know, it's nuts. So, all right, guys, look for that if you go out to the game on Saturday. Utica Comets played Syracuse pretty darn tough last weekend at home, so we'll see how they do out in Syracuse. It's a 7 p.m. game Saturday night to benefit Aaron's Angels. Okay?
Thank you, Bill.
Good stuff. Thank you,
Thank
guys.
you, Jack.
Thank you.
Quick break. Manansky Does News coming right up.
At Mohawk Valley Health System, nursing is more than a career. It's a calling.
I just love the family environment. Everyone's so helpful, so encouraging. Everyone here is amazing.
Whether you're starting your journey or ready to grow, MVHS offers competitive pay, career development, and a place to belong.
Everybody wants you to succeed, and I feel like the patients and families also feel that as well. My team helps me grow here.
Mohawk Valley Health System. Change lives, starting with yours. At Mohawk Valley Health System, we're investing in nurses like never before.
Working at the Wynn Hospital in the OR has given me the opportunity to not only enhance my critical thinking skills, but also my autonomy.
With competitive new rates, career development programs, and a culture built on support.
I love the team that I work with on the 7th floor.
Here at the Wynn Hospital, I'm not just part of a team, I'm part of a family.
You'll grow your nursing career with great pay, a supportive team, and real opportunities.
Here at the Wynn Hospital, I can find my niche and grow.
Change lives, starting with yours.
The Save of the Day Foundation is dropping the puck on a raffle where you can win big. $75,000 cash or a 2026 Chevy Corvette. That's right. 1 ticket, 2 powerhouse prizes, and only 2,000 tickets will be sold. Tickets are just $100, and every entry supports the Save of the Day Foundation, helping our community win off the ice. The drawing is January 31st during the Utica Comets game, and you don't have to be in the building to score. Don't miss your shot. Cash or Corvette. Get in the game now at saveoftheday.org.
It all began in 1985 with a single goal, a commitment to brighten our community. And with your kindness, that light grew brighter. Because for 40 years, you've helped Food Bank of Central New York deliver healthy food and hope. But that need continues to grow. So this year, please consider giving a little extra and make sure the light we shine together never goes out.
Bill, cloudy skies, 15 degrees. It is 8:32. Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem says a federal judge's order restricting the actions of immigration agents in Minnesota won't change anything. The ruling issued Friday bars federal agents from retaliating against peaceful protesters and from stopping vehicles that are following them as long as they're maintaining a safe distance. It all comes as the Pentagon is reportedly ready to deploy about 1,500 active duty troops to Minnesota amid ongoing anti-ICE protests sparked by the deadly shooting of Renee Good. President Trump's plan to impose a 10% tariff on Denmark and its European allies as he ramps up the pressure to acquire Greenland is causing shockwaves across numerous nations. He announced the move in a post on Truth Social saying it'll take effect next month. Most major European markets are down today as a result. Meanwhile, the Trump administration's decision to change the days Americans can visit national parks for free removes Martin Luther King Jr. Day from the list this year. Out west, however, California will offer free entry at more than 200 state parks in honor of MLK Day. Governor Gavin Newsom says the move is meant to honor Dr. King's legacy of justice and equality. A new college football national champion will be crowned tonight as top-ranked Indiana takes on number 10 Miami from the Hurricanes' home turf. Miami is playing for its 6th national title, while this is Indiana's first title game in program history. Roughly 15,000 nurses continue to strike in New York City with new contract talks stalled. They're rallying on the picket lines today for what's the 8th day of this ongoing strike. And a smaller version of the Las Vegas Sphere is going to be built in Prince George's County, Maryland. Sphere Entertainment Company has announced a collaboration with the county, the state of Maryland, and Peterson Companies to build a Sphere at National Harbor. It'll have about 6,000 seats, as well as cutting-edge technology like a 16K display and Sphere immersive sound. 16K display. I thought they just a couple of years ago they released 4K.
Yeah. Well, we're
now
now
at 16K?
We're now 8K. I know 8K. Like I have software that will handle 8K video, and but 16K. That's a lot of. Just imagine
What do our eyes?
You're dealing in gigabytes every time you produce like I don't know, frames of video. I mean that 16K's got to be pretty big.
That is incredible.
And you're right. At what point do our eyes seen everything our eyes can possibly see?
Right.
Where do we peak out? Where do we say this can get no better?
I don't know. It is 8:36. Here's a look at your Weather Center forecast from the Weather Channel.
Winter weather advisory does cover up northern Oneida County, points north, winter storm warnings for a big lake effect event. I mentioned this last week. The lake effect would be back, and somebody's going to get feet. We'll see some snow showers here today, maybe this afternoon, mid-20s with a gusty breeze around. Snow showers tonight, tomorrow. In town, we still could pick up a couple of inches, most of the accumulating snowfall from about Boonville and north. Tomorrow's highs only in the middle teens and wind chills below zero. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stajik, WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
Right now, cloudy and 15 at 8:36.
Coming up, we'll speak with Lee Hamilton. He was a former sports caster here on WIBX, former host of Sports Watch.
Hacksaw Hamilton.
As we hacksaw Hamilton.
Oh, that's a different hacksaw, isn't it?
As we celebrate, continuing to celebrate here in 2026, WIBX's 100th anniversary. The Falcon Clinic in Washington Mills has added a new physician, and they are now adding new patients to their lineup. And you can simply call if you need a new family doctor, second opinion. Maybe you have an issue when it comes to fatigue and pain, aches and pains, and it's possible that could be hepatitis C. Dr. Shamileski is Hep C certified. Acupuncture, Dr. Kosminski. A new family doctor, physician, Dr. Cheryl Mattern of Sequoia, who's just joining the team with Dr. Shamileski and Dr. Zielinski. It's all there under one roof, the area's premier osteopathic medical clinic. It's the Falcon Clinic. Call today and schedule an appointment at 315-507-4751. And portions of the program today brought to you by Steve Ponte Mazda. The New Year New Mazda sales event is back. Save on a new Mazda lease. Are you ready? 1.9% APR financing on new 2025 Mazda CX-5s with 0.9% on the turbo models. 0.9% APR financing on new 2025 Mazda CX-50s, 1.9% on hybrids, and 2.9% on the new 2025 Mazda CX-30. See Rick or anybody at the dealership for details. And as Rick says, come on in. The experience is completely different. It's all about taking care of the customer with Steve Ponte, and it's Steve Ponte Mazda. As Rick says, let's make your deal on a new Mazda where it's always easy to do business. Steve Ponte Mazda, Commercial Drive in Yorkville. Coming up, we'll speak with Hacksaw Hamilton. Coming up next to WIBX.
With snow piles up in central New York, you still got work to do. Get it done with Bobcat from Warner Sales and Service. Bobcat skid steer loaders, truck loaders, and excavators cut through deep snow, slippery streets, and frozen job sites with ease. They're fast, tough, and built for upstate winters, delivering soft traction, low ground disturbance, and all-day comfort. From streets and sidewalks to driveways and lots, nothing clears like a Bobcat. Push it to the limit this winter with Bobcat from Warner Sales and Service. Visit WarnerSS.com.
The new year brings new health goals and wealth goals. Protecting your identity is an important step. Your info is in endless places that could expose you to identity theft, leading to lost funds. LifeLock monitors millions of data points per second. If your identity is stolen, our restoration specialists will fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Resolve to make identity health and wealth part of your New Year's goals with LifeLock. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS. Visit lifelock.com. Terms apply.
Oh, hello. It's me, the calculator that lives inside of TaxSlayer. And let me tell you, I love numbers. 1040s, 1099s, W-2s, all of them. With TaxSlayer, anyone can file a federal return for just $22.99. You'll get 100% accuracy and your biggest possible refund guaranteed. Now those are great numbers. Need help along the way? We've got US-based real human support. File by February 8th for just $22.99 and get the refund you deserve. TaxSlayer. File fearlessly.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-923-6829 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-923-6829. That's 800-923-6829. What do you have to lose? Call 800-923-6829. Again, 800-923-6829.
Hurt in a car? Call William Attar. 315-444-4444.
The Save of the Day Foundation is dropping the puck on a raffle where you can win big. $75,000 cash or a 2026 Chevy Corvette. That's right. One ticket, two powerhouse prizes, and only 2,000 tickets will be sold. Tickets are just $100, and every entry supports the Save of the Day Foundation, helping our community win off the ice. The drawing is January 31st during the Utica Comets game, and you don't have to be in the building to score. Don't miss your shot, cash or Corvette. Get in the game now at saveoftheday.org.
Hi, Billy Mays here with the brand new Keeler Kill Switch. When that morning show starts yapping about something you can't stand, don't reach for the dial. Just press this big red button and BAM!
This is Keeler.
WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Now back to the Keeler Show.
Well, good morning. It's Martin Luther King Day, MLK Day, and everybody's off. Don't go get your mail. Don't go to your bank today. They're all closed. Do you remember? Do you remember? By the way, if I said that and Andrew were here, he would begin singing the song. Do you remember? That's what he would do.
It was good to see Andrew. It was good.
It was.
We had a couple nice messages about it. It was good to hear Andrew and Darlene. I believe Darlene and Sequoia said it was so great having the three of us have a lot of laughs together in studio.
Andrew says the Bears suck. Okay. That's just his response. Do you remember? You might not have been here at the time. It might have been one of your 7 hiatuses. Only 4. Only 4.
Yeah.
So do you remember like the story of the, and this, I couldn't believe in 2025, we were dealing with a story like this. An attorney in Syracuse who handles a lot of sexual harassment cases, mostly women against men.
Okay.
Was putting up an ad inside Hancock Airport.
Okay.
And the ad said, when HR called it harmless flirting, we called it Exhibit A. Sexual harassment, discrimination, retaliation, no fear, no shame, no justice. Call attorney Megan Thomas Law, PLLC. And gives her phone number, and that was her ad. And whoever was in control of the ads at the airport said, no, that's too demeaning to many of our customers.
How so?
Well, it's demeaning on men. It's demeaning to men, and they refused. They said she had to soften the ad in order to run it at the airport.
Okay.
And she sued.
Okay.
And she went all the way. So the outcome of the case is now here, and we'll have her on the radio tomorrow to discuss.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Do you have an opinion on that?
That didn't seem. That was the ad?
Yeah, it doesn't seem that it's. Listen, I've seen a lot of ads that are risque.
Yeah.
I would not call that a risque ad.
Also,
I think it. I said I felt if she sues, and we talked about this back when we did the story, that she would win.
So I think I agree. I guess, although maybe the airport has the right to refuse any ad, maybe. Maybe
the
that
problem you're going to have there is it is a public institution. That changes everything. The fact that it's a government building, basically.
Right.
The airport.
But so I think we would agree that there are some ads that fall into the risque category.
Well, then, and remember, what was his name from Hustler magazine? Larry Flint.
Yeah.
Larry Flint sued over free speech, and he won.
Yeah,
that was a big win.
In fact, she won this. But I have to say as well, there's a difference between when the airport says this affects many of our customers, or however that was worded. I guess the assumption is that many of their customers are inappropriate at work.
That's what I think the airport was arguing. We'll get her tomorrow. We'll see
but the
what
airport
happens.
is saying, I don't know. That's an assumption.
That it was implying that against so many wonderful men who were not that way. I don't know. They refused to run the ad. I can't believe it. Meanwhile, some of the ads you see in airports that are advertising perfume or Victoria's Secret, I mean, some of those, the exploitation of the female body seems to be A-OK. It's probably because men are making the decisions. I think that ad is just fine.
Yes.
I'd
like a bigger version of it.
Hey, now. How do you pronounce the beer Dos
Equis?
Dos Equis. Yeah, I've heard that.
That's
sorry, I never knew how that was pronounced.
That's the most interesting man, right?
The most interesting man in the world.
Yes.
Yeah. Guess what? The most interesting man in the world commercials with the original star, Jonathan Goldsmith, are back.
Okay.
He is now 87.
Yes.
Yes.
Pretty soon he's going to be the oldest man in the world.
He's now the most interesting, really old man in the world. Believe it or not, it's been 10 years since Dos Equis their last ad with Jonathan. The new TV ad premieres during tonight's college football championship. You'll be able to see it tonight if you're watching. Here's audio.
He was the most interesting man in the world. Then, the unthinkable. He forgot everything. But when all seemed lost, there was a light at the back of the garage fridge.
Dos Equis.
He is, once again, the most interesting man in the world.
I don't always drink beer, but when I do, I still prefer Dos Equis. Stay thirsty, my friends.
I feel like the commercial should have been, when he responded, he should have been something like, huh? What did he say? What did he just say?
He's the most interesting man in the retirement community. I don't
least
always drink beer, but when I do, it's through a straw.
They don't allow me to drink beer at all times here at the home. So when they do let me, he ought to go to Prestwick Glen, where it's happy hour every night.
Yes. I don't always drink beer, but when I do, it's in a plastic cup with a lid on it.
Oh, Lordy. The new TV ad premieres tonight during the college football championship. We are celebrating 100 years here at this radio station, believe it or not. On December 5th, 2025, we reached 100 years. Back in 1925, the station signed on the air, and we are still going. I'll leave it at that. We're still going strong. On the line right now is Lee Hamilton, Hacksaw Hamilton, former host of Sports Watch and sportscaster here on WIBX. Lee Hamilton, good morning.
Good morning, Bill. Thank you for the invitation to celebrate 100 years. It's been a spectacular run, and I think fondly back to the stretch of time that I was at WIBX in the late 60s and then into the early 70s. And I reflect back now, it was really a golden era of broadcasting in upstate New York. I was thinking about this morning when I woke up early. I'm on San Diego on the West Coast. So
thank you
it's
for
still the
that,
middle
by
of
the
night
way.
here.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's okay. But I was thinking about, when I first got to Utica, along the New York Thruway, the legendary iconic station was WGY in Schenectady, or to the west, WSYR, and I got to IBX. And then it dawned on me, this is a really great regional station, and the longer I worked there, the more history I came across, and I understood all things about CBS Radio and all the great people they've had, and I was part of the transition from what was old-time radio to modern-day radio.
Yeah.
You probably don't know that. You probably don't know this. I was the first news anchor in the morning news block at WIBX when they transitioned from adult standard music to news talk back in the early 70s. So you got my job, so don't screw it up.
Okay, I'm going to try not to.
Wow.
I'm going to try not to. But that's really, really cool. And I got to tell you, I'm a student of radio, and I'm the next generation in. And I must say that looking back on these times, I've always felt like you guys were absolutely pioneers as you created. I mean, you didn't have the template to fall back on. You created a whole new type of radio that the rest of us are following the trends that you created.
Yeah, it's really interesting. That era in Utica radio when I was there was unbelievably competitive. WIBX, of course, had been there forever and ever. There was a smaller signal AM station, WBVM, which kind of launched political talk with Ralph Romano. WRUN was all music, and that was the launching point for Dick Clark's career. And WTLB was all-time rock and roll and had been in it for a long period of time. But IBX survived. All the others pretty much went away. I think most of those frequencies are now dark. But I think the most fascinating thing is the legacy and the history and the importance of WIBX to that community, not just Utica, but up and down the Mohawk Valley and to the North Country because of the
way into the North Country,
the uniqueness of the signal. And I think that's the thing that pleases me the most is this is a great radio station. Granted, it's gone through multiple ownership changes. I mean, when I was there, we were run and operated by Fred Bowen. Prior to that, it was the Elliott Stewart regime. But there have been multiple changes since the 1980s to where you are now with a good mid-market ownership with, is it Town Square, I believe it's called. So it's fascinating. What the station has meant to the community in terms of being the news beacon is amazing. What the station has meant in terms of charitable foundation work, when I was there, we launched the Heart Fund Marathon, which was just absolutely amazing. When I was there, we saved the Mohawk Valley Comets hockey team, was on the brink of going out of business. And obviously we did an enormous amount of things in the community. So I'm just pleased that I've got those call letters kind of branded on my heart. And I'm kind of like you. I'm an old-time radio junkie.
Yeah, I mean, it's so interesting to watch how this medium has progressed over the years, and by the way, has been basically left for dead. As the prediction was, well, radio won't make it past this. It won't make it past this, and yet radio continues to thrive through all of it, albeit many changes and transformations. It's still here, going strong. I'm interested where you went after Utica, and just give the people listening a little peek into your amazing career.
Well, it was really unique. I had done a summer internship in 1968 at WIBX. I was working in small market Appalachia. And then in 1971, I got a phone call from the then morning show host who became program director, a gentleman by the name of Jay McClendon, great friend of mine. He's passed on since. And said, we've just lost our hockey guy, Ralph Allinger, legendary program director at IBX, and he did Clinton Comets hockey forever and ever. He said, we're really in a world of hurt. The season's about to begin. And I had stayed in contact with Jay over the years since my internship, and he said, would you come? And I looked at it, and I said, yeah, let me couple hours. I'll think about it. And I said, of course I'm coming. And I got family up in Utica.
Yeah.
I still spend a fair amount of time in the Adirondacks. I come back to Utica twice every year. So I went there and it was stunning. As soon as I got there, Jay McClendon and the office manager, Bill Bryant, resigned. So I walked in the front door. I'm 25 years of age at a station with a much older demographic, and the people that put me in place to work there were leaving to go into politics. It was absolutely stunning.
Wow.
And I wound up becoming the morning music man to replace Jay. And then obviously we transitioned into news talk. And Fred Bowen, who was a visionary, tough guy to work for, but he brought in talk show host Brad Clay. Then he brought in talk show host Craig Worthing. Then he brought in another talk show host, Buck Buckley, who I still think lives in the Mohawk Valley. And we had a farm director, Ed Sluzarczyk, who was historically popular in the North Country. So there was a lot of things in place that kind of went from there. So I was there till 1975, and I'd been the voice of the Mohawk Valley Comets, and I went to Cleveland. I did hockey and sports talk there, and then when the NHL-WHA merger took place, Cleveland did not get included, and I lost my job. I went to Phoenix and wound up working for a big news talk station there, KTAR, did sports talk in Arizona State, and then I got a call to come to San Diego. And I've been here since 1987. I did 17 years of NFL football with the San Diego Chargers and the Seattle Seahawks, and now I run my own sports website, LeeHacksawHamilton.com, and I do podcasts, and I do weekend sports at an independent station, Fox 5 KUSI. So my career has taken me a lot of places, but my heart has always been in the Mohawk Valley because that's where this whole thing started.
So if I can, I went to my first Mohawk Valley Comets game when I was a Cub Scout. We had a trip, that field trip or whatever you would call it, and we all went to the game. From that moment, I became a huge Mohawk Valley Comets fan. And I have to tell you, I would record. I got, for Christmas, I got one of those little, it wasn't realistic. It might have been a realistic, one of those little tape recorders, just a tape recorder, cassette tape. And I would pick it up with the audio off the old radio, and I would record you every night doing the Comets games as a kid.
Absolutely amazing. And I'll tell you, somewhere in my archives in my house here in San Diego, I do have one reel-to-reel of me doing Comets hockey, which is just – and we did so many unique things there. You know, Ralph Allinger, who was the program director, is the one that pioneered – this evening sports report called Today in Sports. And it included Vernon Downs race results and just a wide variety of things. And then when I took it over, we continued that tradition. Then I went to Fred Bowen and I said, I'd really like to dabble in sports talk. And we created a 9 a.m. to 12 noon Saturday morning sports talk show called Sports Watch. And that was on the air forever. And
Jeff was one of the hosts of that show here.
Yeah. I convinced him to let me try to pursue Major League Baseball. And he said, why would anybody do that? I said, well, we have a big regional signal. I convinced the Yankees and the Mets to let us be affiliates for upstate New York. Wow. We carried Yankee baseball Monday through Friday, and we carried the Mets on Saturday and Sunday. And I said it'll be a great sales tool. Of course, knowing management, if we could sell ads in it,
that's right.
Money, we'll put it on. So we did that, and then Fred let me devise. Somewhere in my house, I got a picture of it. Devise billboards we put on the backs of the buses that went up and down Genesee Street with a picture of the Mets and the Yankees logos next to the WIBX logo. I mean, it was about as big time as you could get in a middle-sized market. So I did a lot of creative stuff. I was allowed to do a lot of creative stuff, and just very, very thankful for that stretch of time that I spent there. Blizzards notwithstanding.
First, I will say we would kill if you would dub off a little bit of that of you calling the Comets so that we could put it into our archives as a part of the WIBX history. I would love that if you could do that for us. And
if I can find it,
if you can find it, that would be incredible.
I will say this. You know, the great facility that was on Clark Mills Road where we all worked, the one with the bomb shelter, which I never got to see. But that facility at one point, there was a fabulous historical musical library there. And there were a lot of publications because the original WIBX used them as sales tools.
Right.
I don't know whatever became of all that with all the ownership, sales.
So much got discarded and thrown out.
Literally thrown out.
But we've saved some, which is why I keep trying to search for stuff. So if you could send it, I'm out of time, Lee, but I got to say, a great legend here on WIBX.
Absolutely.
We so appreciate being able to chat with you. Have a great day, and I hope to hear and have you back on again.
Bill, appreciate the time, sir. Congratulations on 100 years.
From the WB Payne Insurance Studio, your news talk leader since 1925. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now the latest from Fox News.
World peace is at stake. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. That's what President Trump insists in his push for the U.S. to take control of Greenland. Posting on Truth Social, China and Russia want the territory that Denmark now controls. And he's threatening to punish some European allies who oppose him, including Britain's Prime Minister.
Keir Starmer says the world has become more turbulent in recent weeks and a trade war is in no one's interest. President Trump's announced 8 countries who oppose his attempts to take over Greenland will face extra tariffs. That includes the UK.
The use of tariffs against allies is completely wrong.
Prime Minister Starmer says the security of Greenland matters and more should be done about it, but the island's future must be in the hands of Greenlanders and Danes.
That's Fox's Jonathan Savage in London. President Trump also calling for a leadership change in Iran after the Supreme Leader called him a criminal, accusing the U.S. of stoking anti-regime protests that were stopped with a deadly crackdown.
Iran's President Masoud Pezeshkian warned that any aggression against the Supreme Leader would be considered an all-out war. As the country's leadership is discussing more about the protests, new video provided to Fox News by a source in Tehran shows Iranians gathered outside of a morgue demanding answers about their loved ones. The Iranian regime is now admitting at least 5,000 people were killed during these demonstrations. The true number is likely much higher.
Fox's Trey Yingst. The anti-ICE protests rage on in Minnesota. This one inside a St. Paul church, where they chanted the name Renee Good, the woman killed in a confrontation with immigration enforcement. They claim a pastor at the church has ties to ICE.
The FBI and the DOJ Civil Rights Division are investigating. Attorney General Pam Bondi writing on X, I just spoke to the pastor in Minnesota whose church was targeted. Attacks against law enforcement and the intimidation of Christians are being met with the full force of federal law.
That's Fox's Matt Finn in Minneapolis. In Spain, it's up to 39 people killed when a high-speed train went off the tracks and collided with another going the other way. America's listening to Fox News.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. You know, the big wireless companies say they have discounts for people over 55. But unless you're willing to sit on hold and ask, you're probably paying more than you should. At Consumer Cellular, there's nothing to hunt down. We're built for people 50 plus with plans starting at just $20. And our 100% US-based customer service actually answers the phone. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com today and get your second month free for a limited time.
Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
The Tunnel to Towers Foundation honors America's heroes and their families, heroes like Scott Abrams. Now, for more than 3 decades, Scott served his community and country while he was on his NYPD motorcycle escorting a funeral procession. Scott was hit by a bus, leaving him partially paralyzed. Tunnel to Towers was able